WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Love the rain.
Well, I like that it's 12 degrees warmer than it was when I left the house yesterday.
Yeah, that helps. I guess I'm being facetious when I say I love the rain. But it's coming down pretty good, and we're going to probably get a pretty decent amount of rain through the day today. So,
yeah,
and maybe even into tomorrow, which means your trick-or-treating experience tomorrow night may end up being damp at the very least.
I think there's no question it will be.
Yeah, so
well, what do I know? I just
go.
know what they tell us. So,
well, we've had a pretty good run, right? A pretty good run of no rain. So this certainly can help. We have a packed program today, a lot to get to. I mentioned Howard Sanders. He is from the Lexington Democrat Club in New York City, and the mayor's race has everybody down there pretty perplexed. You might imagine the Lexington Democrat Club is more of a traditionalist Democrat organization, and is, I'm pretty sure, has endorsed Cuomo. And I'm pretty sure wondering why Sliwa is not getting out of the race down there in New York City. And I'm pretty sure they are hoping to be able to find a way to beat Mamdani in the race on Tuesday, Election Day, of course, Tuesday, for them, for us, for everybody. And early voting is underway. They're saying record numbers right now. I'll speak with Howard later on this morning. Howard is somebody we met on vacation over the weekend, and turns out he is the president. He's an attorney in New York City and the president of the Lexington Democrat Club. So I had set this up like 3 months ago, thinking that by now Mamdani would not be in the lead. But here we are, just days before Election Day, and he may be the next mayor of New York City.
yeah, it's certainly looking that way. I think some of the cultural groups down there are getting ready to celebrate. For instance, the Irish, they're going to be singing Mamdani Boy. There's a couple. There's Mamdani the donkey. The Italians will be rooting that out.
The Don Tarantelli, Mandan Tarantelli. That's Italian.
Yeah.
We're reaching a little bit. Also this morning,
Mamdani Boy. I do
Mamdani
like
Boy. I like my things for free, because that's kind of everything's free. Everything is free. Joe Rakowski is from Mohawk Valley Materials and is a businessman who has announced an interest in the congressional seat that is currently held by Elise Stefanik. And if she runs for governor, there's a good chance that Joe would be running. He certainly was interested the last time. We'll see where he is today. Also, Joe on the state of the Oneida County Republican Party.
Okay.
And it'll be interesting to get Joe's take on all of this. Ryan Schmel's coming up in a little bit as we continue to knock out these, what the government is saying is narcotic boats in both the Pacific and the Atlantic coming up from the south, bringing in fentanyl and drugs into the United States. You'll notice that everybody always uses the word allegedly, because there has been no proof offered as of yet. Because they're really, by the time they're done, there isn't any proof left, right?
Yeah, those boats are destroyed.
Decimated. There have been a few. There have been a few survivors.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but they're usually taken back to their country of origin. So we'll see what Ryan has to say about that, what they're learning there. He'll bike his free money question of the day. Davey, today it's worth on this Thursday
$250.
$250. We'll give you a chance to win coming up at 7:35 this morning. We'll get to that. Caitlin Conley's attorney Melissa Schwartz is on talking about the DA's request to hurry a date for the appeal, as they're trying to appeal the release of the documents that could lead to yet a, I don't want to say record, but a whopping third trial against Caitlin Conley.
Yeah, and I know a lot
right
of
now
people.
she's free. She's out. No charges against her. Everything has been wiped out.
I understand that people might think like, wow, that's the third time she has to go through this. And I kind of think that as well. But at the same time, I don't know, it kind of points to, I think, that the DA's office, who's ever handling the case, really thinks she was the one responsible.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt of that. However, she's been in jail for 7-8 years now. Good behavior. Even was teaching some of the inmates how to act in a library and how to look up their case and all of that. So I think she certainly is out on good behavior. Whether or not you think
she's out not on good behavior. She's out on the.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that she is out on good behavior. If they decide to put her back, she spent 7 or 8 years in jail on good behavior. She's out because her case has been overturned. But my point is, her time in, let me word it differently. Her time in jail was well behaved. So, what would the average person be sentenced? Some think that her sentence was a little bit on the excessive side, based on manslaughter.
Okay.
So anyway,
what was the sentence? I don't know.
Like 20 years or something, 28 years or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, the now it is, and I've also heard, the family of Mary Yoder, they want justice. Well, we've talked with some indirectly in some cases, but for the most part, the family is a bit divided. There are family members who think that Caitlin Conley did not do the poisoning, and others in the family feel that she did. But beyond all of that, there are some that have said, enough. We don't want to go through this again.
Right.
A third time, the family would have to go through this again. But I will tell you, the DA's office is insistent, and we'll speak with Melissa Schwartz. That'll be very interesting later on today. I do not expect the and who knows, but I don't expect that the appellate court is going to remove Judge Clark from this case. She is not stepping away from the case, so this is all very interesting in the legal realm these days. But could you imagine this thing doesn't get heard until next spring? Then there's a decision to go to trial. We may not see if it went to trial, and whatever it might be, if he goes to a grand jury and gets Caitlin Conley indicted yet again, what would the charge be? And can you imagine this time next year getting into this thing all over again?
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, that would mean maybe a new documentary. Maybe there's still a new documentary that's coming. Dave, you've got lines are ringing. Phil DiGiorgio, you've heard his commercials here, estate planning attorney. He'll be on later on this morning. We'll deal with ICANN this morning. John Decker, Great TV. I mean, we are loaded today. Very much loaded for this October 30th. Tomorrow is Halloween. It's a Friday. Going to be a bit on the inclement weather side, but you'll still expect a lot of people to be out, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think so.
Tomorrow.
With it being on a Friday night for sure. That's children and adults.
Last night, I'm very surprised by the Dodgers' lack of offense.
Yeah.
And they were shut down. And my prediction of Dodgers in 4 games looks or 5 games looks laughable at this point.
I have to. Something else makes me laugh. This pitcher for the Blue Jays.
He's a minor league pitcher.
Yes, Savage. Yes, Savage. Paul Buckley created a mock commercial some years ago, and it was about a men's fragrance called Suage.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
That's all I can think about when I see this guy's last name.
Let me bring in Suage. Let me bring in Ryan Schmelz. Starting with the World Series. Just when that's what I love about sports. It's like just when you think a football team is unbeatable, they're going in to play the lowly, Miami Dolphins. You just never know, right? You just don't know.
You just don't know. Well, let's keep in mind the lowly Miami Dolphins have the exact same record as the Baltimore Ravens right now.
Yeah,
so
that is true. Well, and there's just a story that came out where I don't know who it was doing the talking, but it might have been Cook for the Buffalo Bills, and was asked about the Miami Dolphins, and somehow the headline came out that he said that team is trash. These are things you don't want to have in the media before you play a team. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, these are all NFL players, and anything can happen on any given day. So
a bright spot, I think, for the Ravens was, if I'm not mistaken, because I never know with social media anymore, did Lamar Jackson have the ping pong table or the pool table or the arcade or something removed from the Ravens? From the Ravens locker room.
I have not seen that. No, that just doesn't seem like something that would be in a John Harbaugh locker room. But I could be wrong. But yeah, no, I mean, no. But I wouldn't be shocked if he did that. But I haven't seen that.
I think I'm gonna in the same vein. I think here I'm gonna really push hard to have the workout room here removed. There's no time to be working out. We're supposed to be doing radio here.
Yeah,
get to work.
Works out in that workout room.
Do your production.
I would Bill,
stop hanging your clothes on that bike in there.
Also, when you're on the phone with corporate, see if they can get the ping pong table and the pool table that were taken out
From
of
the
the Ravens locker room,
I like it,
installed in our weight room here.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, you know it.
What a world. But a big win for the Toronto Blue Jays. They simply now have to, I say simply, they have to win one of these next two games back home for them in Toronto.
Kept waiting for that Dodger offense last night.
I know.
Pretty stale game, other than the two leadoff home runs.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan, are we talking? First of all, any headway? We spoke with Ryan Nobles yesterday, who felt like things are kind of fizzling again, and his fear is that no one has any incentive, or even worse than that, there's no path for either side to go to reopen the government and come out looking good. That someone is going to lose here. And, you like to, in politics, you like to at least have both sides able to save face. His fear there's not that path right now, which means, do we continue?
Yeah, well, I think I've said that on this show before, where the big problem is the politics just aren't convenient because, if you look at what Republicans have done by doing a clean CR, by extending Biden-era spending levels, there are some conservative members who had to swallow a pretty unsatisfying bullet by voting for that. But they did it because to support President Trump and support leadership, even though they've never voted for one of those before. So if they were to, Republicans already feel like they've, given up a lot here and given Democrats a good deal. So, it would look bad if they gave them any more. And then on the Democrat side, they put up this fight for so long. How would it look if they just caved at this point? It's not a good political situation for either side. At the same time, though, you did see Josh Gottenheimer from New Jersey yesterday come out on Fox News and say that he feels that the deal that Leader Thune has offered Democrats, which is a vote on the Affordable Care Act premium tax credit increases or extensions in exchange for reopening the government, is a fair deal. So you are seeing some cracks, at least on the Democrat side right now.
And I got to say, here's if you're looking for a scenario. So we should all be strategists right now to come up with a scenario where both sides could walk away feeling like they're okay. And that would be you find a couple of moderate Republicans and a couple of more moderate to conservative Democrats who align themselves just enough that would be needed, who kind of align themselves now almost as a third party, stepping away from their parties because their district would support something like that, and saying, for the good of the people, we are going to push to make sure there is fair negotiation down the road, and for the good of the people, we're putting people back to work and getting their paychecks again. That could be an option.
Well, Rand Paul's floated that option. Now, here's the problem. They've done this before on a number of issues where you have a big working group or a big commission. They come up with some comprehensive solution to a big issue, whether it be immigration, healthcare. You saw this with last Congress with the border bill, and that thing was killed before it was ever actually released by the House. So,
well, and does President Trump get involved and say, no, we are not caving? And if that would throw a whole monkey wrench into it.
Oh yeah, well, but if President Trump got involved in the healthcare issue and supported maybe that a commission to do that, and just said, hey, pretty much whatever you come up with, we'll be cool with it, and gives it his blessing, then that would be a path forward. I could see that being an easy path forward. You just would need Democrats to be willing to give President Trump that win,
right?
And enough Republicans to be able to say, you know what, we'll just go along with whatever happens.
And there are those Democrats who would not give him a win, but you don't need that many, right? If you can pull this thing off, three. All right, interesting. Well, it's nice that here we are on the radio strategizing the reopening of the government. I feel like we've started the day off trying to do something good here. So there we go. Of course, we've accomplished absolutely nothing. All right, Ryan, have a wonderful day. As always, we appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, boys. Have a good one.
You do the same. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. I think that would be a path. That's probably the only way this thing ends up moving forward, because at the end of the day, everybody's got to save face. That's politics, the scary part of politics. Before I break, I do have to break. Kathy she is preparing for a major basketball game coming up.
Well, she thinks there's going to be a huge upset, or is hoping for that. I don't know if that's possible.
No. She's not looking for an upset.
Oh, no, she's not. I'm sorry, she's not.
No, she's looking for, if she would fear an upset.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Of Colgate.
I got that backwards.
Upending her Michigan State. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody. I have to say, I'm not going to say that it's a done deal with Michigan State.
Okay.
As Coach Izzo always says, he likes to play some good teams, and we know how fantastic Colgate is. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. Michigan State had a second exposition game against UConn the other night, and they lost, and Coach Izzo was very disappointed in his team. So... But we're all
you're playing. Yeah, you're playing Connecticut. The little different story there. But I got to say, one thing that we know pretty well up here about Colgate is they tend to have some really good shooters on that team. And when their outside game, now I don't know what it looks like this year, but it seems like every year in years past, what takes them to the NCAA tournament and winning their conference is that amazing outside shooting ability that they end up scoring so many three-pointers that they get. Now, when they go cold, it can be an ugly day. But Kathy, the worst thing that could happen for Michigan State is if all of a sudden Colgate comes out hot shooting three-pointers.
Well, if they do, that's good for Michigan State. They'll learn their lesson.
Okay.
Play better. And I always enjoy watching Colgate on television.
Yeah, that's always cool. So, all right, interesting. We'll be thinking about you. I think I'm going to try to find this game and watch it. What is it on, Davey? It's got to be on your box in there. Yeah, you'll find it. Davey can find. Davey's able. He's got a box in there that he picks up television. He could find like a local pickleball game that is going on.
On the Big Ten Plus channel.
Oh, yeah. You got to have that, Davey.
We're going to go, and we have XM in the car, so hopefully it's on the radio.
All right. All right. Well, good luck, Kathy. Good luck. And,
Thank you.
And go, I have to say go Colgate for here, but you know
Go
what
green, go white.
I mean. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kathy.
Bye-bye.
She is an enormous. I have not really asked her. Did she go to Michigan State? Did one of her kids go?
She
Family
grew
mem-
up there.
She grew up there.
She's from there.
I see. That's where all of this comes from. All right. Well, that does make sense. A couple of comments already here this morning on Caitlin. Trump has to love that. Let's go back to Caitlin Conley. I believe her attorney said Caitlin never received one demerit all the time that she was in prison, which is unheard of. That's how good of an inmate she was in jail. He's not being sarcastic. I remember her saying that.
They go by demerits?
It's called a demerit. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what they do, but
It sounds like
maybe he's being Animal House funny.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe there's some tongue in cheek there. I read it as if it's very factual.
It just reminded me of you'll receive 2 demerits. It'll be reflected on your permanent record.
That might be it. I don't know. Maybe that's what they call him in prison, a demerit. Trump has to love that nothing can be done to solve the congressional-induced shutdown until he comes back to the country. That is probably that could very well be true. He is the one who probably could something together to solve this.
I wonder, some of the things that he says in his pressers, I don't think makes it better. I almost feel like with him being away, maybe there was a chance to get some deal done if some lawmakers could come up with a deal.
Yeah. Okay, hold tight. 644 at WIBX. I got a bunch of stuff. And there is a terrible, 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 terrible story out there that I'm going to give you from beginning to end.
Oh, boy.
It's a bad one. It could.
I don't want to spoil it.
I almost fear this story because it could give someone who wants to get rid of someone an idea. And the way I look at it, there are enough ideas out there. Kim Commando's like, just go to GPT and ask them how to kill somebody, and they'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
Right? So this is a terrible, terrible, terrible story. And it's going to make you, I think, open your eyes.
Okay.
And fear every time you're out and consuming something. I'll explain. Coming up. Hold tight at WIBX. Davey, can we bump the news? What do you think?
I got it.
How about weather?
Rain will continue to be in the forecast and a chilly day today with an east breeze gusting as a low practically passes right over the top of us. So occasional rain, mid-50s. Tonight, rain, lows will be in the low 40s. Friday, still some showers lingering with a west breeze. Highs will be in the low 50s. That could affect trick-or-treaters in the evening. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM at 92.3 FM.
Currently, we are with, there is a little hydroplaning you're going to deal with this morning, so be aware of that coming into your workplace. It's raining and 42 degrees. To clear it all up, Jeff, as you've really clouded the air here this morning on the comment from Mike, I do want to clear it up. According to Mike this morning, no, I'm being absolutely because Mike sometimes is not overly serious.
Right.
And I understand where you could fall into that trap.
Yeah.
But he's saying, no, it is fact regarding Caitlin Connolly. And they refer to them as demerits.
Interesting.
And that she had a clean, let's just say this, she had a pristinely, I'll add the LY, clean record while in prison. And actually did a lot to help inmates while she was there. Quick break, and we'll come back here. Hold tight. And this story, it's awful. I actually was contemplating not even going down, even reading the story because it's so bad. It's so bad. But it's coming up, and it's worth hearing and learning from, I'm afraid. Coming up at WIBX.
All right, holiday time is coming. That means it is high crime season, but not all crime should be addressed the same way. We have statistics from the FBI, and that's 2022. Firearms is only necessary less than 1% of the time. Now, the burner launcher covers 99.99% of altercations with the firepower needed to incapacitate any attacker for up to 40 minutes. I carry one myself. I recommend every family concerned about safety and security have one as well. The Burner Compact Launcher is the smallest, less lethal launcher that is concealable anywhere. Now, it may be small, but it fires powerful kinetic rounds, tear gas, that can stop an attacker cold for up to 40 minutes with a range of 60 feet, and you can confidently and effectively de-escalate any situation without using lethal force. You don't need a background check. It's legal in all 50 states. It comes straight to your door. Go to byrna.com and get the launcher that is right for you and your family.
Hey, man, thanks for coming so fast. I couldn't get anyone else to pick up.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I'm not complaining, though. Business is way up lately.
Wow, good for you. I've been trying to grow my accounting practice, but it's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I was in the same boat last year. What really helped me was checking out this site, mylocalcustomers.com.
Never heard of it.
Well, most people haven't. It gives you a look at how many people in town are searching for what you do, and it also provides a plan to help them actually find you.
Like online?
Exactly. It's eye-opening, and it only takes a couple minutes to get started.
Huh, well, you fixed my sink. Maybe you just fixed my business, too.
Want to know how many people in your area are searching for your type of business? Start with a local customer analysis at mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com today.
That's mylocalcustomers.com. mylocalcustomers.com.
Looking for more than just a job? Find purpose and peace in the Mohawk Valley.
If you want to make a difference for somebody, working at Wynn Hospital has offered me that.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, you'll grow your career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunity.
It's so much more than a job. You're able to make such a difference in people's lives.
And when your shift ends, life's just getting started.
The options are really endless in the Mohawk Valley. There's no place else I'd rather be.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours.
I wanted to be a nurse so I could make a positive impact on my community. I chose CCON because I knew the program and instructors would help me get there.
At CCON, we don't just teach clinical skills, we mentor future nurses. Our students get the extensive hands-on experience they need to excel.
CCON sets you up for success. Every day I make a real difference, and I'm so glad my journey started at CCON.
Ready to start your nursing career? Why wait? Apply today. Visit ccon.edu to learn more. Apply today for a better tomorrow.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Take advantage of Mattress Express's guaranteed lowest price program. Bring in any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry, and we will beat the price. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
100 years. 100 years. That'll be December 5th. And I'm going to tell you, we're planning on that week of doing... there are so many people that used to work at this radio station. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, you could say that again.
Used to work here. And then there are those that used to work here, came back, used to work here, came back, used to work here, came back.
That's me.
Dominio. Used to work here, came back. Used to work here, came back. Used to work here.
Or you could be like me, 30
Davey.
years.
Always worked here. Always worked here. Always worked here.
I had a chance to leave.
You should have gotten out when you had the chance.
Phil Stern was here to go to South Carolina.
That would have been
to
something.
produce his show, and then I told him, I said, sorry, Phil.
Oh, but you would find yourself working at Radio Shack.
I'm sorry. I said, sorry, Phil. I'm not going because I said, you're going into two topics down there that were controversial. You're going to make fun of NASCAR in South Carolina. You don't want to do that because Darlington is one of the biggest racetracks, and you don't want to make fun of the Confederate flag. I said, no ship, I'm not going.
Yeah, they'll kill you over that.
Oh, yeah, and then he got ran out about a month and a half in his tenure.
He would, if you remember, there have been a few on this radio station who are memorable. Some, I don't even want to mention names because I don't want to spawn some new lawsuit or something, but there have been some doozies. And that's why I was like, I got to tell you, when I came here and everybody was all worried about me 13, 14 years ago, whatever it was, I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at a couple of these people, this handful of people. I think I'm a major improvement compared to the craziness of some of the stuff you've dealt with over the years. But that happens, right? I mean,
yes,
crazy people. And a lot of times in radio or television, you don't know, the audience doesn't really know the craziness that goes on behind the scenes.
Correct.
That's another part of this.
Are you going to get into this crazy story or what?
I'm going to, but I just wanted to add one
we have
more
a busy
radio
morning here.
One more radio crazy. One more radio crazy. Was you had one reporter who worked here, and I know it caused a great deal of turmoil in the building. But you had one reporter that worked here that whenever any of us went out on, and back then there were a lot of people working in news departments locally, and would ask some of the dumbest questions ever asked on the planet. And everybody would just kind of look around and be like, I cannot believe that question was just asked. But let's see how they react to it. It was quite enjoyable to watch.
Were they here when I was here?
I believe so.
Ooh.
I don't know when you were here, Davey.
Now you got me puzzled.
All right. Well, I'll fill you in afterwards. Okay. Boom. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. This story is so bad. I'm just going to get right into it. A woman in Oklahoma has died after drinking a margarita that was tainted with industrial cleaner.
What?
Because of the tartness of the margarita and the fact that she just thought maybe there's a lot of alcohol in this, I don't know. She did not taste it.
Oh, my gosh.
She couldn't taste it. The margarita mix covered up the taste and smell of the industrial cleaner.
Oh, my gosh.
She was about to, I'm going to read the story in its entirety, but just giving you a little bit of a run here. She was about to order another when she felt her mouth was on fire. And she then became, oh my God, what did I just drink? And she went into the bathroom and vomited. Sometimes that can be worse but she got it out of her system. But here is what happened. This is so bad. Holly Hill, a mom of 3, a teacher, was enjoying a Valentine's Day dinner in 2023 at a Mexican bar in Oklahoma. Leading up to her unexpected death, she was still in recovery from the incident that happened, and she suffered for 2 years before it finally killed her.
What?
Yes. Leading up to the unexpected death, she was in recovery. According to News Channel 9 there, her mom, Kelly Hunter, said that things quickly went awry that February night after her daughter ordered her second margarita. Her mouth was on fire. She knew something wasn't right. She immediately jumped up and ran to the bathroom, started throwing up and rinsing her mouth out with water. As a result of the incident, Hill made multiple trips to the emergency room in the days and weeks following. The drink caused a large hole in her esophagus, resulting from the severe chemical burns caused by the cleaning product. On October 17th, Hill had another procedure. This has gone on for 2 years. Had another procedure in which doctors found that the hole in her esophagus wasn't healed still, but was a little bit better and not as inflamed when she just finally passed away.
What was the cleaning product? Do we know?
I don't have that. She will continue. She was doing tube feeding. She had to come back week after week, and sometimes was placed in the hospital. They're investigating her death, by the way, now. The Bar and Grill commented publicly on Hill's passing, but previously made a statement on social media about the incident. We are very sorry for what happened during these 10 years. We have never had a situation like this. A situation should not have occurred in the first place, the restaurant wrote on Facebook. We again want to apologize to her family, and the Elgin community. So the only thing I can think is it's possible that there was cleaning mix put into a container and somebody just dropped ice in it, put the mix in, and it doesn't seem as if this was an attempted murder.
So I'm still lost as to whether or not the cleaning product was accidentally spilled into a bottle of alcohol, or if they had an industrial cleaner to clean the bar in a bottle that was next to like the well drinks, alcohol.
They don't know. They're not explaining any of that. They're still investigating it. But what it does tell you is somebody can put something in your drink, and especially a drink like a margarita, which has such a tart and sour, that very strong flavor, and you might not even know.
That is wild.
That is a terrible story. My mother always said, be careful, don't ever set your drink down. You never know what somebody can put in it. News is coming right up. Hold tight.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long drawn-out sales presentations, just high-quality, custom-fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 off new windows from Patriot and NYSERDA. Plus, get an upgrade to triple pane windows for free. Minimum 3-window purchase. Most homeowners qualify for the savings, and income is not one of the requirements. So write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to save up to $2,000 and get the triple pane upgrade free. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. Nokian Tires invented the first all-weather tire 25 years ago to serve as a true year-round driving solution. We infuse our tires with aramid fibers for pothole protection, and we subject our products to Arctic conditions at the largest winter tire test facility in the world. Make safety your first priority. Nokian Tires. First things first. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
On a scale of 0 to 10, it was a 12. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump says about his sit-down with China's leader, wrapping up his trip to Asia and South Korea.
I thought it was an amazing meeting. He's a great leader.
The president said that on Air Force One flying back home after their talks eased trade tension, cutting tariffs on Chinese imports.
President Trump says the tariffs are lowered effective immediately.
It was 57, now it's 47. Because we reduced it by the fentanyl.
20% of that was punishment for China not doing enough to prevent fentanyl from reaching the United States. That's cut in half. He's also suspending port fees on Chinese ships. China will put on hold for at least a year export controls on rare earth minerals and immediately start buying American soybeans again.
Fox's Chris Foster. The president also told reporters he's directed the War Department to resume nuclear tests immediately.
We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing. We've halted it many years ago. But with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
Now, the U.S. military is taking on another suspected drug boat. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announced it on X, posting video of the explosion, killing 4 people he calls narco-terrorists off the Venezuelan coast. The 14th strike in this operation that left 61 alleged illegal drug traffickers dead. More than a week after the jewelry heist at the famous Louvre in Paris.
French authorities announcing today 5 more arrests in connection with that robbery, including one they call the prime or main suspect, maybe the ringleader. Remember, there were 4 people who broke into the upper floor window of the museum. They made off with $100 million worth of French crown jewels.
Fox's Greg Palcott. For a 30th straight day, the government shut down. Federal workers unpaid. Millions of Americans may lose food stamp assistance starting Saturday.
This is all about a leverage point for political purposes.
Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen blames Democrats. Democrats blame Republicans. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes. Heroes like U.S. Army Warrant Officer 1 Stuart Waymond. After joining the Army, Stuart graduated from Army Aviation School and had a distinguished career until a mid-air collision during a training exercise took Stuart's life. He leaves behind his wife Kira and their 3 sons. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on Stuart's family home. Help more families like Stuart's. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
A federal prosecutor in California is being allowed to stay on the job but can't prosecute some cases.
Siding with defense attorneys, a federal judge says acting U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley is disqualified from 3 cases because he's overstayed his temporary appointment. Still, the order keeps Asaley as a first assistant U.S. attorney and Southern California's top federal prosecutor.
Regardless of my title, I have the authority to run this office.
Asaley's disqualification is the 3rd challenge to an acting U.S. attorney appointed by President Trump, limited to interim terms of 120 days without Senate confirmation. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Federal Reserve has made another 0.25% interest rate cut.
With downside risks to employment having increased in recent months, the balance of risks has shifted.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell also said it's not a foregone conclusion. They'll cut rates again in December. On Wall Street, stock futures are falling after a mixed reaction to the Fed decision yesterday. The Dow went down, but the Nasdaq closed at a new record high. At the World Series, the Blue Jays make history in Los Angeles, beating the defending champion Dodgers again.
Toronto beat the Dodgers 6-1 to take a 3-2 lead in the Fall Classic, with Davis Schneider wasting no time getting the Blue Jays on the board in Game 5.
Here he comes, an action goal in Game 5 with a fastball that's hit in the air to deep left field, call to the track, it's on the first pitch of Game 5.
That was courtesy of Fox as Vlad Guerrero Jr. left the yard 2 pitches later for the first back-to-back home runs to begin a World Series game. Blue Jays starter Trey Yesavage was brilliant, allowing 1 run on 3 hits in 7 dominant innings and setting the rookie World Series record with 12 strikeouts. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
The Blue Jays could win the World Series trophy for the first time in 32 years tomorrow night in Game 6 at home in Toronto. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Light rain, 42 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Presbyterian home will be closing. Community Wellness Partners is announcing a strategic realignment of its services, and officials say it reflects their ongoing commitment to meet the evolving needs of older adults in our community. Not only will Presbyterian Home be closing, but also the closure will include the expansion of their residential care services, recently updated at Lutheran campus, and they are instead expanding their home-based care offerings. Officials say it was a difficult decision to close the Presbyterian Home building after years of operating at a financially unsustainable level, a challenge exacerbated by long-standing systemic issues within the healthcare industry. Officials say since 2007, Medicaid reimbursement rates have failed to keep pace with the actual cost of providing quality care. And they also say many nursing homes in New York have seen a significant reduction in capacity since the COVID-19 pandemic. We're dealing with some light rain now, but heavy rain expected over the next day and change. Central New York residents being urged to prepare for the storm. Forecasters say rain will fall throughout the day and into tomorrow, and it's possible some places could see up to 2 inches of rain. There are also concerns about strong wind gusts. A complete list of warnings and alerts can be found at alerts.weather.gov. We will check in with Ray Stajic in just a moment. 2 employees at SUNY Upstate Medical University in Syracuse are detained by ICE. The CSEA says those workers were taken into custody yesterday while attending their immigration hearings. The workers, who are Cuban citizens, now face possible deportation. CSEA officials say they're valued members of the upstate community, and the union went on to say that detaining people who are following lawful processes is both unjust and inhumane. And state police and volunteers are teaming together for the annual Pumpkin Patrol. The 49th annual event runs through tomorrow night. The goal is to prevent Halloween pranks on the Thruway and to protect people from drivers who are taking drugs or alcohol and getting behind the wheel. Several hundred volunteers are expected to participate. State police took over running the Pumpkin Patrol back in 1990. Some light rain, 42 degrees. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Your forecast is brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all of your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Visit johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information.
Rain will continue to be in the forecast, and a chilly day today with an east breeze gusting as a low practically passes right over the top of us. So occasional rain, mid-50s. Tonight, rain, lows will be in the low 40s. Friday, still some showers lingering with a west breeze. Highs will be in the low 50s. That could affect trick-or-treaters in the evening. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Some rain and 42 at 7:09. All right, in sports, the Toronto Blue Jays just one game away from winning the World Series. They beat the Dodgers in Los Angeles last night. The final was 6-1. The Dodgers led off the game with a pair of home runs, which hadn't happened before in World Series history. Snyder and Guerrero go back-to-back to start it. The Dodgers did make it 2-1, but the game never got tied or closer than that as the Blue Jays slowly pulled away. They lead the series 3-2. And again, the Blue Jays look to get their first World Series victory in 3 decades when they host Game 6 tomorrow night. Tonight's game, Thursday Night Football, kicks off Week 9 in the NFL. Lamar Jackson returns. The Baltimore Ravens visit the Miami Dolphins. Jackson has missed the last 3 games with a hamstring injury. The Ravens are 2-5. Miami comes in at 2-6. Despite the records, this has the potential to be an exciting offensive game. Utica University Pioneers men's hockey will open their regular season tomorrow night. They'll play 2 this weekend at the Adirondack Bank Center Friday and Saturday. The opponent is Adrian. And back to the NFL for a second. Giants defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence says he's not backing down from one of his critics. Carl Banks, the ex-Giant, recently said in a podcast that nobody respects Lawrence anymore. Lawrence responded saying that Banks is delusional. The Giants have lost back-to-back games. They'll host the 49ers coming up on Sunday. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:10. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
This station is brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Visit johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more info.
Journey through a classic story of small wonders and big dreams.
Not a second can we spare, 'cause it all comes down to Christmas.
As one of America's favorite Yuletide movies comes to life. Ralphie, his family, and best pals. Live on stage. We triple dog dare you to miss the smash hit A Christmas Story, the musical.
Live on stage November 11th and 12th at the Stanley Theater. Visit BroadwayUtica.org today to get your tickets.
The City of Utica's Controllers race is one of the most important in recent years. It requires a person with the qualifications and proven hands-on financial experience needed to be our city's chief financial officer. That person is hands down Mike Sermonaro. Mike is a proven leader spanning almost 40 years of experience throughout city government and is known for his toughness, fairness, and his extraordinary work ethic. Vote for Mike Sermonaro for Utica City Controller, a proven and very capable leader. Paid for by Mike Sermonaro for Controller.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread.
and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
He digs, he turns, he dives. It is a touchdown. It is a touchdown.
The NFL is on Westwood One.
Uncorks a deep ball downfield into the end zone. A crowd is there, and it is caught. Touchdown! Miraculous!
The NFL plays here all season long on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
And portions of the program today brought to you by Steve Ponte Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Mazda has transformed successful race-proven technology into the new Mazdas, which are out on the highways and byways today, right?
Yes.
All over. Save on a new Mazda lease. Enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s. 1.9% APR. That's 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 CX-50s, 70s, and CX-90s. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. And as Rick always says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And I still have this stuck to my sheet as a reminder. This is like Bargain Hunter. Good morning. You're calling number 5.
Okay.
I'm looking for a Maytag wringer washer, one of the old-fashioned ones. And if it needed just a little bit of work, that's okay. I can work on it. A Maytag wringer washer. If somebody has one for sale, please call 315-736-0186 and tell Davey about it.
Is that right? We're really looking for that?
Yeah. Well, Father Sean O'Brien.
Oh, that's right.
Is looking for one.
That's right. So I have to correct something I said a couple of weeks ago. No, it dealt with the washing machine. I actually talked to my mother about this last weekend. I made the comment that when my mother was pregnant with me, that my grandparents bought her a washer and dryer, and that the washing machine lasted 40 years. It conked out 2 weeks before my 40th birthday.
Yeah.
I have a correction to that because I thought that sounded too good to be true.
Somewhere in the middle, she got another one.
No, it was 2 years before my 35th, 2 weeks before my 35th birthday.
Okay.
Not my 40th. I'm not great with time. But I said I just brought this up on the air the other day. We were talking about my washing machine, and I said we brought this up and talking about how things don't last like they used to. And I said, can you believe it made it almost 40 years? And she goes, well, I don't think it went that long. And we actually went back and looked up because she had to buy a new one.
But 35 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's outstanding, right?
Here's the funny thing about those things, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Here's how it works. When your mother, and I don't want to put thoughts into your mother's head, but I'm just going to tell you this is what was going on. While she had that old washer, she liked it in the beginning, but after about 15 years, things would be like, comments that would be made would be like, I hate this washer. We got to get a new one. I hate this washer. This washer just blah, blah. And everybody, they'd hate it. And they curse the washer. But then they get rid of it and get a new washer that only lasts for 5 years. And like, I miss that washer. That washer was so good.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because we forget the pain. We forget the misery. That just got all we remember is the good stuff. And the good stuff was the freaking thing lasted.
I have to say this, though. That's not her.
Okay.
That's not her. Now, that's more me.
That would be my mother.
I like to reflect on my first vehicle or a vehicle that I bought
Yes.
brand new.
I got rid of a 1970 Oldsmobile Delta 88 and loved it so much I went back and bought it. The minute I got inside it, I'm like, why did I do this? This is a piece of junk. What was I thinking?
It's funny. I sold a vehicle of mine and totally regretted doing that, and I've thought so many times, boy, I wish I never got rid of that car. Although it'd probably be
Don't go back
15 years old.
Don't
now.
go back for
My
it.
mother, though, has always been someone who has said they don't make things like they used to.
An argument date has now been set, Jeff, for April 26th of next year before the New York State Appellate Division for one of 3 appeal attempts by the district attorney in the recent ongoing case of Caitlin, or no case right now, Caitlin Conley. The DA's office has filed paperwork to try to move that date to before the end of January. On the line right now is the attorney representing Caitlin Conley, Melissa Swartz. Good morning. Thanks so much for coming on. I hope you have a new and well-performing washer and dryer in your home.
Good morning, guys. Actually, my father owns an appliance technician company, so my appliances are always well chosen and in good shape.
Tip-top shape. That is. You are so lucky.
Yes.
I am.
All right. Where are we on this? And it doesn't seem to be, it's not over yet, it seems.
It's definitely not over, but the decisions that came out in the summertime all 3 are being appealed by the district attorney's office. They've perfected, as in filed, one of the 3, which is the Article 78. The Article 78 was scheduled for the April term of oral argument in 2026, and they're currently asking for it to be placed on the December oral argument term, which I think is an unlikely request.
How do you feel about it? It does seem like, for Caitlin to have to continue to, for lack of a better term, look over her shoulder and go, months.
Well, I guess what I wonder, though, is what are we arguing right now? Are we arguing that Bernadette, that Judge Clark be removed?
No. So there's a February order, a June order, and an August order. They filed the Article 78 against the June order.
Okay.
So that was the order denying the county attorney's motion to unseal, but it's being Article 78'd by the DA's office, not the county attorney.
Okay. So right now, all of those documents are sealed, and the DA's office wants those unsealed at this point.
They're looking, all the evidence in the case, anything that was used in the investigation, anything that was used at trial is absolutely sealed, and they're hoping to get that unsealed and presumably get the appellate division to backdate that unsealing so they don't have to, 1, ask for permission to represent to the grand jury, and 2, so they can try to vote out the case that they have presented.
Okay. So, a lot can come out of these decisions here, an awful lot, which ultimately could set Caitlin Conley, could end all of this. I mean, she's free now.
She's free now. This is them, trying to make it so they can indict her again. But, yeah, I think, it's never great going to the appellate division as the appellant, right? Because you're going up as the loser. And I represent people on appeal for criminal defense work.
Yes.
And it's never great being in that position because it's tough. The standards are usually against you. You have to show a lot of things. You got to jump through a couple procedural hoops, especially for an Article 78. So they're in a tough position, but that does not mean that they might not prevail.
What normally happens in a situation like this? Is there a normalcy here? Well, normally what happens is the evidence gets sealed and the case just goes away. What is the norm here? Is there a norm here?
No, I think this is probably an extremely factually unique situation. I've actually encountered it once before this in a different county, and the case was dismissed. And then it was brought again, and I got the case dismissed on this sealing issue, and the case went away. That case was also a misdemeanor, so a little bit of a different situation. But no, I don't think this is probably ever been fully litigated in New York.
And I one of the things I think the average person is confused about is, we know just enough about the law to be able to get ourselves usually in trouble, like the term double jeopardy. Now, this would be the third time Caitlin Connolly is tried. Why does this not fall under double jeopardy?
So if you're tried and you're convicted and you get a reversal on a reach and it gives the DA's office the ability to retry you, even though jeopardy attaches, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be retried. That's actually a really complex issue.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think like, oh, you're tried once, they can't convict you, or you get a reversal, then it's done. It's really not that simple. And most people, when jeopardy attaches, doesn't necessarily mean they can't be tried again.
Yeah.
However, that's an interesting issue that you bring up that, if this keeps going, will potentially be explored through a different avenue at a different time.
Okay. All right. And then go ahead.
Well, I just want to ask again about the timeline. I had referenced this earlier. Do you want to see the proceedings here sped up? Because, again, Caitlin Connolly either has to prepare for another trial or she has to get on about living her life. So where do you fall on the DA's office trying to move up these proceedings?
I think it's a completely unrealistic request, completely unrealistic. I'm pretty open about what I think I'll prevail on and what I think I won't prevail on. And I absolutely think once I file my response, their request is going to get denied. It's an impractical timeline for the appellate division, not just for me, but for the appellate division. They've already reported out on the cases that are set for argument. Right? They've already read the briefs. Now they're preparing for argument. To suggest that they can just throw on another huge case and then get my brief a week before oral argument that would be completely unheard of. The appellate division doesn't look to put litigants in a place that's not practical for their attorneys. And the way that the DA's office wants the timeline now, although they certainly could have asked for this a month ago, 2 months ago, but they didn't, but they're asking for it now. It makes it so my answer, which has to be filed because it's the basis of my brief, it's the record for an Article 78, and my brief would have to be due before December 1st because argument starts on December 1st and ends, I believe, on December 10th for the December term.
Well, you'd be putting this would ultimately. Let's not forget what this is not as much about the attorney, about you, as it is Caitlin Connolly receiving a fair and effective defense, right? In this case, and if you do not have enough time to be able to present her defense in this, then that wouldn't be fair to her. I would assume.
I mean, it's putting us in a position that makes it. A lot of people maybe think this is my only case. It's not my only case. Right. I have a lot of other clients, and I can't just put all of my other clients aside because, maybe they didn't time things properly or have the ability to kind of see what was coming and what the term would be. When they filed their Article 78, I knew it was going to be placed on the April term. And that office should have known too, because they do appeals and they know when the scheduling orders were being set. So they took 2 months to file their Article 78.
Wow.
They're an office of 15 lawyers, not one lawyer. They should have filed it in a week after they got that decision if they were so concerned about the timeline.
Wow. And then what do you say to the people who? Because I have to tell you and this is anecdotal, but the people that we speak to, I haven't found anyone saying, "Boy, I think she should be tried again." What I do hear from a lot of people is, she's already done 7-8 years in jail. She was well behaved in jail. It was a manslaughter charge. Let's just say time spent and time served and be done with it. And especially when it comes to where we are in the judicial system right now, where it seems that there's a great deal of leniency in New York State. Many criticize some of the leniency in terms of sentencing. Where would this fit in on a manslaughter charge like this? She's done 7 or 8 years. What do you say to people who say enough is enough?
I say thank you. That's completely makes a lot of sense. And remember, Todd Carvel's an elected official. The DA's office is funded by your tax dollars, the Oneida County tax dollars. And if you genuinely feel that way, you could always write to your elected officials and tell them how you feel.
And I do have to say, your response to these questions is a little different than the last time. You seem extremely bothered by this district attorney's office. It's just my take on it. What do you say to that?
But I don't know if maybe it's a little bothered. I'm used to litigating cases and everybody, being professional. That's the way I was taught. And there were some attacks that were made on me that I thought were completely unnecessary, and some characterizations of this current issue, making it seem like I've done something, unethical or, impermissible, and absolutely not. It's called good lawyering. So when that starts happening, then I can, it's my turn to start taking some shots and saying, hey, here's the stuff you could have did, but you didn't.
Yeah.
And so, now I'm not going to pull any punches.
What was the allegation, or what did they insinuate that you did maybe inappropriately?
The ceiling issue, I believe Todd Carvel's word was shrewd, which is actually a positive, has a positive connotation, but the way he said it definitely wasn't positive. The definition itself, and then I believe he's called it calculated. I believe he's referred to it as an ambush, and it's none of those things, right? It's simply called knowing the law, and I know it. And so I utilized it. And the fact that he didn't catch on to that doesn't, criminal defense attorneys already have a really rough time in the justice system. We're already seen as the bad guys. And so for that to be characterized as such, I just thought was really unprofessional.
Well, I will say you're seen as the bad guys until we need one. And then all of a sudden,
That's right.
You become the good guy. And I think the public, we generally forget that, because sometimes defense attorneys have to defend that it's every American deserves a defense. And sometimes defense attorneys defend people who the public looks at as being really, really bad. But when the defense attorney is defending you or a family member, they could very well be your hero. At least you hope they will be.
Yeah, and that's my everyday work life, really is defending normal people, good people who have done, made a mistake, the first mistake they've ever made in their life. Some of them are really horrible mistakes, but they're all people, and, those are the people that I defend. And I take a lot of satisfaction in my job. I sleep very well at night, every night, especially because I'm pregnant right now, so I'm sleeping extra well.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
And then one final question. Do you feel the sentence for Caitlin Connolly was excessive based on what she was convicted of? No longer convicted of, but...
Yes. I mean, she received 23 years on a manslaughter. That's what she was convicted of. She was not convicted of murder. And at the time of her sentencing, she was extremely young, and very accomplished, doing everything right in life. She was, the girl that was babysitting your kids. She was an honor student. She was helping people. She had a great family, a good support system. So, yeah, I do think the 23 years was harsh.
Melissa Schwartz, really appreciate your honesty here today, and let's see where all this goes.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
And good luck, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And
thanks.
good luck with your washer. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. We're screwed on the washer.
We might have to call her dad to come fix it.
Hopefully he's still working. Let me switch now to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. On the line right now is Scott Hogue from the Rome Police Department. Scott, I'm sorry we kept you so long, but that was a very interesting conversation.
That was fantastic. I appreciate the chance to come on, and I understand how things go.
Okay, let's talk. Each week, we with Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers have a person that is wanted by police. And who do you have for us this morning?
This morning, we're interested in locating Andrew K. Woodruff. He was born April 30th, 1996. He's a 29-year-old black male, approximately 5'6", 150 pounds, dark hair, brown eyes. He has numerous arrest warrants and a bench warrant. I'll give you the incident. Andrew Woodruff is wanted by the Rome Police Department on 2 different arrest warrants for several felony charges, including robbery in the 3rd degree, grand larceny in the 4th degree, assault in the 2nd degree. These charges are in regards to 2 domestic disputes that occurred in 2025, and the warrants are issued from the City of Rome Court. Woodruff also wanted on a bench warrant issued from the City of Rome Court for 1 count of disorderly conduct for failure to appear. Woodruff has no known address. We believe he could be in the Utica-Rome area.
All right. We'll have a full photo and a full story up on our website. It's part of Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. And Sergeant Hogue, as always, thanks for what you do, and thanks for taking the time this morning.
We appreciate your help in this matter and the community as well. Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
That's Sergeant Scott Hogue from the Rome Police Department. Quick break. Coming up, we'll do Hobucka's Free Money Question of the Day. We'll talk about a big event that's coming up for Veterans Day. And in studio, Joe Rakowski talking about the state of the Republican Party in Oneida County, and also his plans as a Republican here locally and in the region. Coming up here at WIBX.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. Nokian Tires invented the first all-weather tire 25 years ago to serve as a true year-round driving solution. We infuse our tires with aramid fibers for pothole protection, and we subject our products to Arctic conditions at the largest winter tire test facility in the world. Make safety your first priority. Nokian Tires. First things first. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com.
This message is paid for by friends of Michael Gentile.
Hi, I'm Michael Gentile, your Oneida County legislator for Utica's 23rd District. I've always believed in hard work, honesty, and giving back to the community that raised me. I focused on improving public safety, supporting families, and investing in projects that strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life across the 23rd District and all of Oneida County. This election, I respectfully ask for your vote so we can keep our community moving forward. I'm Michael Gentile, and I'm proud to serve you.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, before we update the news here this morning, I want to bring in from the Good News Center, Brian Seville and Jackie Warmuth. And it's an annual large event that occurs here locally for Veterans Day. Guys, good morning.
Morning, Bill. Thanks for having us.
All right, so tell us about this year's Flags for Heroes.
Thanks, Bill. It's our 11th anniversary of the Flags for Heroes event. We're going to plant the flags, post them on Tuesday the 4th, and they'll be up through Veterans Day. So we'll have 1,000 flags on our healing field at the Utica Memorial Parkway, and we're real excited about it. We've raised over $196,000 the past 10 years. So,
wow.
We're going
to. And that money goes to, I'll let you talk about that.
Sure. I'm Jackie Warmuth from Citron Healthcare Center. The Citron Military Program supports post 9/11 veterans for physical and behavioral concerns that they have. They don't pay anything to come to Citron, so we raise money through the community, like the Flags for Heroes, and they can come in and get counseling or physical therapy and a lot of traditional and non-traditional services at Citron's military program.
So the healing field is something I think we've all seen over the last 11 years. It's a very beautiful and touching thing. It's really well done. When someone steps forward to sponsor a flag, they sponsor a flag for a loved one who might have served in the military or a veteran currently looking for service, or I guess maybe either or.
Active military service members or veterans. And it can be in honor of somebody who's alive, and obviously if somebody's passed away, you can do it in their memory. Either way, it's $40 for a flag, and again, the proceeds all go to Citron.
How do they? And we're going to see before long. We're going to, and I hope it has the sunny skies we've been enjoying, because those flags with the sunshine and still some leaves on the trees. It's quite a sight.
It sure is. No,
Yeah.
and the stories you hear, we've talked about it. Whether it's veterans or family members that come and they see them, we have the tag with their name on a flag, so they can go through and find their flag. And we try to keep them in alpha order. If they order them by Monday, we'll have them up in alpha order, but we'll take them right up through Veterans Day. So
okay. How do they give and get one of their loved ones remembered?
They can either call the Good News Center at 315-735-6210, or just go to thegoodnewscenter.org, and they can go right through our website there, and they can sign up and sponsor. We do have our ceremony, too. That'll be on Saturday, November 8th.
All right.
And did I miss, is there a total number? Is it 1,000?
1,000 flags.
1,000. So it's capped at 1,000.
Yeah, right now we're approaching 800, and we'd like to get more.
Okay. So, already approaching 800. Nice.
Yeah.
And then Jackie, what you guys do at Citron for these veterans is just spectacular. We do a great job of recruiting, we as a nation, and then we do a great job of sending them off into harm's way. But then when they come home, we're not so good, and it's programs like this that really fill that void.
Yeah, veterans, that one of our biggest referral bases for veterans coming for help is by word of mouth. Many of the vets that have been there said, if you're looking, go to Citron's military program. There's a lot of things that we do in the community, even the Warrior Retreat in July, that we have 50 or 60 service members from this area that were post 9/11, Iraq or Afghanistan. And we really just try to do things that they enjoy, but it's a camaraderie that they really appreciate at Citron's program. Many of them with these flags said that they feel like they're with their battalion walking through the flags.
All of the structure while they were in service, and then they come home and the structure's gone, and this really fills that.
And there are many service members, and they all know I call them my veterans.
Yeah.
When we do things together with them, it's that camaraderie that they're looking for and support of each other.
And this event really just is incredibly patriotic and a great visual. We love it, and thank you guys again. Go to the website to sign up or call the Good News Center.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate what you do.
Appreciate you.
I'm going to ask you with an update on the news right now with WIBX.
Thank you, Bill. Still some rain, 42 degrees. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:40. President Trump says the U.S. and China have reached a one-year deal on critical rare earth minerals and some tariffs. Trump announcing the deal after his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea. The deal would see fentanyl-linked tariffs on China lowered by 10%. And cutting tariffs on Chinese exports from 57% to 47%. Meanwhile, the Department of War will begin testing nuclear weapons again. In a Truth Social post, President Trump said due to testing programs in other countries, he's instructed the department to start testing U.S. weapons, quote, on an equal basis, end quote. In the post, he specifically cited the nuclear programs of the Russian and Chinese. The last time the U.S. tested a nuclear weapon was in 1992. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. says he hasn't seen sufficient evidence linking autism and Tylenol. Kennedy told reporters Wednesday that the association between Tylenol given shortly before, during, and immediately after pregnancy is not sufficient enough to say it definitely causes autism, but he says it is very suggestive. Some U.S. House Armed Services Committee members are asking Boeing to offer striking employees a fair contract in the name of national security. A letter sent to the aerospace giant this week said the workers are essential to the success of the company and vital to the United States' national security. The more than 3,200 workers on strike in the St. Louis area are responsible for the production of fighter jets. Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins will play on Thursday Night Football tonight, the kickoff to Week 9, a game you can hear right here on WIBX. Miami comes in at 2-6. The Ravens are just 2-5, but they do have Lamar Jackson returning under center. And Hello Kitty is getting a Hollywood movie. Warner Brothers announcing on Instagram that the
I can't wait.
Hello Kitty
can't
feature
wait
film
for this.
will be hitting theaters in July of 2028.
Well, you might have a kid or a grandkid or something that might love the daylights out of that. Yeah, maybe. Let's do the I can't wait. It's kind of like that fireworks. It was the Dynamite movie that I just watched about the U.S. being attacked, nuclear attack on the U.S. Talk about an ending. I was reading yesterday there. We'll talk to Willie Waffle about it tomorrow, but I was reading on this, and everybody's looking for an explanation after the ending of that movie. It's on Netflix. It's riveting. It'll have you at the edge of your seat.
What's it called again?
It's called, I have to look it up. The Dynamite, or I don't have it right
All
here.
right, we'll get it.
It's on Netflix. We'll get it. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to love it. You're going to be at the edge of your seat. You're not going to want to stop watching. And then when it ends, you're going to be like, what? So that's it? That's how this ends?
Don't tell me there's a family of 4 sitting in a small New Jersey diner.
I'm just telling you.
And the screen fades to black.
Worse than that. You'll see what I mean coming up here. Let's do weather here at WIBX.
Rain will continue to be in the forecast, and a chilly day today with an east breeze gusting as a low practically passes right over the top of us. So occasional rain, mid-50s. Tonight, rain, lows will be in the low 40s. Friday, still some showers lingering with a west breeze. Highs will be in the low 50s. That could affect trick-or-treaters in the evening. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Some rain and 42. It's much warmer today, about 12 degrees, a dozen degrees.
Yeah, 42 degrees.
At least
All right.
to start.
Davey has set it in place. The free money question this morning from the Hobeika Law Firm is worth $250. 250. And you could win. All you'll need to do to take a shot at winning is be what number caller, Davey?
Caller 5.
Fifth caller right now. 315-736-0186. Caller 5 gets a shot at $250. Next on WIBX.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. Nokian Tires invented the first all-weather tire 25 years ago to serve as a true year-round driving solution. We infuse our tires with aramid fibers for pothole protection, and we subject our products to Arctic conditions at the largest winter tire test facility in the world. Make safety your first priority. Nokian Tires. First things first. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com.
Stand Up to Cancer asked leading cancer researchers to speak about why they do their work.
2 words come to mind for me. One is responsibility, the other is purpose.
It's just so inspiring to do research that impacts human lives.
Stand Up to Cancer has been a critical partner in advancing research for cancer.
Cancer research saves lives.
So please, help us fight in this battle against cancer.
Be a part of the team that ends cancer at standuptocancer.org.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long drawn out sales presentations, just high quality, custom fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 off new windows from Patriot and NYSERDA. Plus, get an upgrade to triple pane windows for free. Minimum 3 window purchase. Most homeowners qualify for the savings, and income is not one of the requirements. So write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to save up to $2,000 and get the triple pane upgrade free. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
Each store independently owned and operated and not part of a chain or cooperative buying group.
You don't need to drive all around. Just come to Santa Cotton Valley, best prices in town. Save on every bottle, every case, every day. Our 40-mile price match backs you all the way.
At Seneca Wine and Liquor in New Hartford and Valley Wine and Liquor in Herkimer, we're all about promoting locally produced products. Every New York wine bottle is now marked 20% off all month long. Seneca and Valley love supporting family-owned New York wineries, and you'll love the 20% discount on every New York wine bottle. Purchase in-store or buy your wine online all month long and save 20% off New York wine. Only at Seneca Wine and Liquor in New Hartford and Valley Wine and Liquor in Herkimer. Voted #1 8 years in a row. New York wine promotion ends October 31st.
One big family with 2 great stores, ready to save you more.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Coming up, we're going to speak with Joe Rakowski. Joe was running for Congress, kind of, and then Elise Stefanik did not leave, and now she might run for governor, and it's possible Joe could run for Congress, or will he? And we're going to talk to Joe about the state of the Oneida County Republican Party coming up. I'm excited about that. It's Hobeika's free money question of the day from the Hobeika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika at 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. Call the Hobeika Law Firm, 315-724-1600.
WIBX
is the number. I'm trying to stop all this from happening. That's 315-724-1600. Amanda is in Utica, ready to take a shot at Hobeika's free money question of the day. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you? That's the real question.
I'm well, thank you.
Okay. By the way, I didn't mention the Melissa Schwartz, who is the attorney for Caitlin Conley. She didn't hold any punches back today, did she not? Wow.
Correct.
Yeah, she was laying it out there today. A very interesting interview. We'll post that later on today. Okay, Amanda, you know how this works. You have a chance at $250. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question, and we have a good one for you today, I think. Okay. Are you ready to go?
I am ready.
Okay, here is your question. Name the only sea on Earth without a beach, a rocky shore, and technically a coastline. What is the sea? Ready, go.
Sargasso?
Is it the Sargasso Sea?
There's no, what is it? There's no beach. There's no what?
There's no beach. There's no rocky shore. There's no coastline.
It's the letter C.
Is it Sargasso? Boy, if this isn't an AI help, I don't know one that isn't, but congratulations. It's $150. You remember the last time you were on the Sargasso Sea, right, Amanda?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that was a thing.
You mean you don't know the Sargasso Sea?
Yeah. No idea, Bill.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're absolutely correct. And that is $250 worth. No beach, no rocky shore. Why? Because there is no coastline. All right, Amanda, nice job. That's an easy. Tell me that's not an easy $250 right there.
I knew about the no coastline.
Well, that's very good. Congratulations. I want you to hold on. Davey's going to hook you up, but it's still an easy $250. You've started your day off making $250. Now you got to keep it going. You could be
awesome. Thank you so much.
Be independently wealthy when this is all said and done. Davey, take care of her. She'll also get the food and fun card. It's $25 gift card. That is good at the Comets games, of course, Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, etc., etc. The Sargasso Sea. I do think she knew that. I don't think she used any AI on that.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think she knew it.
I don't know about that.
What do you think, Joe Rakowski? Good morning. I think she knew it.
I think she did too. Yeah, it was genuine.
I have faith in her. Good morning, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, first of all, if the Congresswoman runs for governor, will you jump into the race for that seat?
I've been asked that question a lot, and as recently as this week by some of the leadership in the area. I can't answer that, Bill. I just don't know what this is going to look like and how this all unfolds and who's going to run. But my initial answer is probably not.
Probably not.
No, I think I'd make a better supporter.
Didn't you have a great taste of because you were all in before, and I think you got a really interesting taste of it.
If the public knew what goes on behind the scenes and how it is a tough game to play.
Yeah.
And there's I say all the time, I said, if people would just be honest, there's quite a bit of shenanigans that go on behind the scenes with politics. It's that bad. Yeah.
Well, tell us, we're listening. You said if people knew.
Well, some of it we saw with the guy out there in Amsterdam, and I mean, he was just, and still is, by the way.
The sticker mule is going to run, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to run.
He's going to run.
Did you see he put out a rap? Did you see the rap that
I
he
did
put
see
out?
the rap. It is so vulgar. There's no way anybody that watches that video is going to vote for him. I don't know what he was thinking. It's terrible.
It's like F word. It's like, I mean, it's
very vulgar, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want that in leadership at all.
Not really congressional, I wouldn't think. It didn't seem. It's unbelievable. But he's like, listen, in this unorthodox world, Trump loves it. Trump loves it. Loves him. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure that Trump would endorse that.
No. I don't think so.
I got to check it out.
Check it out.
We have to play it on the show, maybe.
Okay, so then there's that political world, and then there's the local Oneida County Party. And I wanted to ask you about the state of the Oneida County political Republican Party.
It's on fire would be my response to that question.
Yeah.
I could tell you when I threw my hat in the ring.
And by the way, for those just, Lance and Lee and those, Joe is not some liberal we brought on to trash anyone or what. You're a staunch, active member of the Republican Party and someone who has contributed all the way to the top significantly.
Yeah, we've contributed to a lot of races, local races, county folks. We've contributed to Saratoga County, Herkimer County. I think we might be the largest contributor in Oneida County, my wife and I. So we understand the politics locally very well. But the motive is not to win a prize here. We want to see good leadership, and we need it. I mean, every community needs good leaders in place.
Yeah. Why is Oneida County's Republican Party on fire?
I don't know what happened. When I got involved, I had to go and meet with every county chair because that particular race for New York 21 was going to be decided by the chairs. So Oneida County having the heaviest weighted vote, it was very important that I connected with Mr. Rozier. But recently,
who is the chairman of the Republican Party?
He's the Oneida County chair, and I'm shocked that he's at war with all of the leadership, starting with the city of Rome, the chief of staff. He spent a lot of money, with Kim Rogers in that lawsuit, a good chunk of change. And, if you understand how hard it is to raise money for the Republican Party in any county, a complete waste of money. And then when we donate it, I learned through this process what to do, what not to do, how these things work. To this day, I cannot find out where our contributions went with that event that was held at Ken's. He has this venue where he had an event for the inaugural watch. It was the inaugural watch that he put on. So, we were supposed to get some advertising out of it, some radio and TV, and we cannot get verification of any of that. So I'm personally concerned about the future of the party here in Oneida County under his.
And it sounds like you're worried about where the money goes when you contribute to the Republican Party here.
Yeah, it needs to be totally transparent, and we're not seeing that right now. And
you think it's going to his businesses?
Well, I could tell you this. I mean, he catered an event and charged the party for that event, which I think is a conflict of interest. Not something that I would have done or something that I want to see moving forward. But just forget about that. That aside, the fact that he's at war with the elected officials that the people voted for.
Well, I think it comes down to anyone who is supportive of Tony Piceni is not going to get his support. And it is odd that the head of the Republican Party in Oneida County is like attacking the top political figure who's really in the midst of transforming this county, working, of course, with all of the state elected and locally elected. But you have the head of the party at major odds with the head of the county. So that's odd to me.
You know what we do, right? We're in the construction business. So
yes.
when Chobani was announced and I got to sit and listen and understand how this came to fruition. Largely due or mostly due to Tony Picentti's efforts. So what do we want as the people? We want good leadership who bring in jobs and make sure we have clean drinking water and our infrastructure is up to date and everything's working. That's what this team is doing, from Griffo, Picenti, Lanigan. All those people are working very hard in this county to bring – I mean, we may be in the midst of a new golden age since – the days of Griffiths. When Griffiths left, it devastated the community.
Yeah.
Now we've got Chobani coming in. You've got Micron going in Syracuse. That's going to affect our local community. You know, we have a new hospital, and Tony's one who reaches across the aisle. He works with everybody. So why is Ken attacking these people? I have no idea. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not donating a nickel towards his agenda moving forward, but we need to look at the situation. I'm very worried about it.
Yeah. I can't give any personal opinion because
I know you can't.
All I can tell you is not opinion. This is just facts. Fact. I've had several candidates come to me and say they were specifically told not to go on this program, and if they did, they would lose their support, the Republican Party's Roger's support. They would lose his support. I had another candidate say that they were going to have me do their media. I'm pretty good at it. They were going to have me do it, but they were told that if they did, and instead used Roger's group to do the media work.
So that's exactly what's going on.
To me, if that's not illegal, I don't know what is. But listen, I bowed down. I'm like, that's fine. Do what you, because I'd like to see this person get elected. I think they deserve to be elected. But to say you go with them, you have to go with me, or else I won't support you.
So this is the opposite.
What the hell is going on?
Democracy, and this is the reason he's accusing. He calls everyone else in the party the cabal. Well, the behavior here is acting like the cabal. It's not a dictatorship, so it doesn't make any sense. None whatsoever.
So you, as a contributor, will not give to the Oneida County Republican Party because you fear for where that money's going?
No, let me correct you. I will support the leadership that I believe in heavily.
So you'd give directly to...
Directly, yeah.
Right.
But as far as the party goes, I'm not paying for... I'm not putting dollars into someone's, that may get filtered into a business. Okay, that doesn't make sense to me. Or a lawsuit. I mean, how much money are we going to spend fighting with Kim Rogers? I mean, anybody knows Kim Rogers. She's one of the hardest working people in Rome. She's been in politics for a long time. She's a leader. Why? Why did that happen? And I think it was about $12,000 in attorney's fees. Why would I want my dollars going into a lawyer's pocket to fight with someone who's a good person?
Hang on the other side of news. We have to take a quick break. A few minutes. Sure. Just a few minutes. Quick break, and we'll come back. News is next on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
The U.S. and China might sign a trade deal as soon as next week. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just told Fox Business.
All the congratulations should go to President Trump. He has a fine relationship with President Xi.
This following the Trump sit-down with China's leader in South Korea today.
I guess on the scale of from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was at 12.
That was the president as he now flies back home as Asia trips over. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from South Korea.
President Trump said China has agreed to immediately purchase large quantities of soybeans, which is great news for American farmers at harvest time. Aboard Air Force One, Trump also said she is willing to curb the export of those harmful Chinese chemicals used to make fentanyl. As a result, American tariffs on China will be lowered.
I put a 20% tariff on China because of the fentanyl coming in, which is it's a big tariff. And based on his statements today, I reduced it by 10%.
The president also told reporters and posted on Truth Social he's ordering the War Department to resume nuclear weapons testing immediately for the first time in 33 years, citing tests adversaries are doing. The U.S. military is taking on another drug boat off the Venezuelan coast, suspecting of carrying illegal narcotics, killing 4 more suspected traffickers.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announcing on social media that the military carried out a lethal kinetic strike on yet another narco-trafficking vessel
also operated by a designated terrorist organization in the Eastern Pacific. The campaign's left more than 60 people dead so far and destroyed 15 vessels.
That's Fox's Lillian Wu. Hurricane Melissa is now blamed for dozens of deaths from Haiti to Jamaica, where it hit as one of the most powerful storms ever.
For miles upon miles, it is nothing but homes destroyed and people in peril. There is very little limited resources here as far as water and food.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray in St. James Parish, Jamaica. Cuba was also hit. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes. Heroes like U.S. Army Warrant Officer 1 Stuart Waymond. After joining the Army, Stuart graduated from Army Aviation School and had a distinguished career until a mid-air collision during a training exercise took Stuart's life. He leaves behind his wife Kira and their 3 sons. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on Stuart's family home. Help more families like Stuart's. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
It is day 30 of the government shutdown, and there is no end on the horizon.
Republicans' House-passed government funding bill has already failed to advance in the Senate 13 times. Democrats maintain they want a measure to include an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies to prevent millions of Americans' health care premiums from surging.
Donald Trump promised to bring people's prices down. He's done the exact opposite. He should come to the table and negotiate with us to help people through this health care nightmare.
New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. Republicans are calling on Democrats to vote for the short-term bill to reopen the government, then negotiate on health care.
They know that they're causing pain on the American people. They admit that there is suffering, but they're doing it for leverage.
House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Well, federal workers remain unpaid, even those who keep working in this shutdown. Millions of Americans who get food stamp assistance won't get it starting this weekend. For the second time this year, the Federal Reserve has made a quarter-point interest rate cut, but with the government still shut down, limiting the data on inflation and hiring and unemployment, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says
a further reduction in the policy rate at the December meeting is not a foregone conclusion.
That got a mixed reaction on Wall Street. Dow futures have been down the day after a 74-point drop, but they've been rising for the NASDAQ the day after a record-high NASDAQ close again. At baseball's World Series, the Blue Jays make history.
Here he comes, off and going Game 5 with a fastball that's hit in the air to deep left field. Call to the track. It's on the first pitch of Game 5.
2 pitches later, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. homered. The first time a team has hit back-to-back home runs to start a World Series game, and that's all the offense Toronto needed, though. They did score more. The Blue Jays beat the Dodgers in Los Angeles 6-1 on Fox, giving them a 3-2 series lead over the defending champions, and Game 6 will be tomorrow night in Toronto. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have rain showers, 42 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Presbyterian home will be closing. Community Wellness Partners announcing a strategic realignment of its services, reflecting ongoing commitments to meet the evolving needs of older adults in our community. Officials there say that move includes the closure of Presbyterian Home, the physical building, and the expansion of its residential care services of the recently updated Lutheran campus. Meanwhile, they will be significantly expanding home-based care offerings. Community Wellness Partners officials say the difficult decision to close Presbyterian Home comes after years of operating at a financially unsustainable deficit, a challenge they say exacerbated by long-standing systemic issues within the healthcare industry, among them Medicaid reimbursement rates falling below the actual cost of providing care. And they also say, similar to many nursing homes in New York State, Presbyterian Home has been operating at a significantly reduced capacity since the COVID-19 pandemic. 2 employees at SUNY Upstate Medical Center in Syracuse, SUNY Upstate Medical University, have been detained by ICE. Now, CSEA out there says those workers were taken into custody yesterday as they were attending immigration hearings. The workers, who are Cuban citizens, now face possible deportation. CSEA says they're valued members of the upstate community, and the union went on to say that detaining those who are following lawful processes is both unjust and inhumane. State police and volunteers will be teaming up for the annual Pumpkin Patrol. It begins tonight. The 49th annual event runs through tomorrow night. The goal is to prevent Halloween pranks along the New York State Thruway and to protect people from drivers who are taking part in dangerous activities like speeding or driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Several hundred volunteers are expected to participate. State police have been running the operation since 1990. And some rain in the forecast this morning, but forecasters are a little concerned about how much rain we're going to get. We could see some damaging high winds as well. In some spots, up to 2 inches of rain may fall. We'll get more on this from Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel.
Rain will continue to be in the forecast, and a chilly day today with an east breeze gusting as a low practically passes right over the top of us. So occasional rain, mid-50s. Tonight, rain, lows will be in the low 40s. Friday, still some showers lingering with a west breeze. Highs will be in the low 50s. That could affect trick-or-treaters in the evening. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, rain and 42 at 8:08. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, the Blue Jays surge ahead in the Fall Classic. They now lead the World Series 3-2 after a 6-1 victory last night. Schneider and Vlad Guerrero Jr. going back-to-back to start the game last night. They lead the series 3-2. They look for their first World Series championship in 3 decades when they host Game 6 coming up tomorrow night. Tonight, Lamar Jackson returns to the field for the Baltimore Ravens as they visit the Miami Dolphins. Thursday Night Football kicks off Week 9 tonight, a game you can hear right here on WIBX. The Ravens come in at 2-5. Miami is 2-6. But again, Jackson has missed the last 3 games with a hamstring injury. Our coverage of the game begins at 8 o'clock here on WIBX. Elsewhere, Giants defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence says he's not backing down from one of his critics, that being former Giants linebacker Carl Banks, who recently said that nobody respects Lawrence anymore. Lawrence responded by saying that Banks is delusional for his take. And the Utica University Pioneers men's hockey team opens its regular season this weekend. They'll play tomorrow night and Saturday at the Adirondack Bank Center as Adrian comes to town. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time coming up on 8:10.
All right, in studio right now is, and I'm working on that the video that you said. Apparently, the which was everybody looking for? They were looking
for the Galimi interview yesterday.
From yesterday,
or Mayor Galim, as he's known by.
So, Davey, what's happening is every once in a while we leave the studio, and this system comes back on and starts recording, and we'll record for like 8 hours. So we go live in the studio. If there's anybody in the studio come in here, like if 2 people decided to come in here and have an affair, it would be all live on TV. It would be live. Because we were going for like 9 hours yesterday. And what happens is during Kilmeade and Jimmy Fallon and all these shows, they use copyrighted music in their bumpers. So it ends up getting copyrighted, dinged, and they shut it off. So that's why I'm working on it. I'm trying to fix it.
Okay.
I had no idea it happened. I didn't have any idea. In studio right now is Joe Rakowski. Joe is a local businessman who carries some weight in the Republican Party, is certainly a contributor. You're very close with, you've been everywhere that you need to be in order to be somebody that is known in the Republican Party. You've been to Mar-a-Lago. You're very close with the Congressman. You certainly know Elise Stefanik very well, but you're very close with Claudia Tenney, et cetera, et cetera. You've helped a lot of campaigns win elections here locally. You are blowing a whistle and waving a red flag when it comes to the current leadership of the committee, the chairmanship of the Oneida County Republican Party. You have some interesting stories. Like even when you were running for Congress, and you tell me if this is wrong, I had heard that there were people that thought you had a criminal record because of something that may have come out of Mr. Rozier's office.
Hey, we can discuss that. It's an interesting story. I spent the first probably 2.5 months working very hard, thinking, I'm electable, I'm a good guy, I'm a family guy. As I said on your show, I'm married 32 years, I'm a military background, and I couldn't seem to get traction with all the chairs. I said to my wife, I don't know, there's something missing here. I'm a clean-cut guy, and we've got a great story to tell with our business. And so I ended up, my law enforcement background comes into play once in a while because I could smell, some dirty pool. So I ended up at a dinner down in D.C. With high-level leadership, and I finally felt that was maybe wasting my time. I said, what might be the problem with my campaign? I go, good, bad, and the ugly. Lay it on me. And the individual across the table looks at me and says, do you have a criminal history? And it kind of blew me away, but I'd heard rumblings. What had happened in my race was, unbeknownst to me, allegedly, Mr. Rozier sent to Washington a screenshot or a document of someone with the same exact name as me that had federal gun charges in 1986. So if you just looked at the text, it was Joe Rakowski has been arrested for felony gun charges. If you read it, it was in 1986. The guy lived in Massachusetts. He had broken into somebody's house and stolen some guns. It blew me away. So when I had to respond to that, I said, let me tell you, I said, I was in the Boy Scouts. I went in the Air Force when I was 18 years old. The military gave me a year of training, which is extremely long, to work on B-52s at Griffiths. I said, they gave me a secret clearance. I got out of the military. The state of Pennsylvania gave me a badge and a gun. I went to another department in the middle of my career. Got, these trainings and the certifications and the background checks are intensive. Many lie detector tests. I said, I'm probably the cleanest guy. I have no closet. Never mind, this stuff. Right. So that was the dirty pool that I felt that this county gave to me in that race. It wasn't.
And you live in this county.
I live in this county. Yeah. It was concerning to say the least. So that's the kind of stuff that goes on. People don't realize that this is a dirty game, and it's hard to find good leaders. Why would you attack someone who honestly and earnestly wants to do good for the community? I don't understand it.
And Oneida County seems to have gotten very dirty, in particular.
I feel, I would agree with that.
Okay.
And Stefanik's team told you that information came from local?
No, that's not accurate. I can't say the Stefanik's team gave me that information. I had bits and pieces of it from other chairs.
You were at a dinner.
And they're the ones who asked you, but they didn't indicate where it came
I'm not going to include Stefanik's team. My relationship with Stefanik's team was she was supportive. She gave me some guidance early on. That's the only conversation I had with Elise.
Gotcha.
So, but many of the chairs would say, why is your chair not supporting you? And I don't want to make it sound like sour grapes. I'm not considering a run at this time. I'm just letting you know that we have so many good things going on in this county. The last thing we need is to dismantle leadership right now at this critical point in time. Because if people realize how much we rely on leadership to make sure that infrastructure and public safety and all those things are in place, we don't want to turn into one of these cities where people are vacating and at the same time spending hundreds and thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to increase what goes on in the community.
Do you feel the county chair is trying to dismantle leadership in Oneida County, elected leadership?
Bill, that's obvious. I mean, look what he did with Kim Rozier. He's on attack with Lanigan. This Jim Brown thing, he was the catalyst for a lot of that, I believe. He just did nothing but put wood on the fire, which is unwarranted. I'm very upset about that. I mean, I know both those guys very well, and for Ken to just, the next day to put Jim back on the radio and stir the pot even more, that's unnecessary. You're hitting a nerve with me because I know all these people personally, and we need them to do their job. And what they got to do in a day, I said it before on the air, there's so much that goes into leadership and their time each day. They don't need to be attacked constantly. And he's attacking everybody.
Yeah. All right.
So I was sent this during the break. I don't know who this came from. This says Oneida County Republican Committee, New York. I'll be happy to send you what I was sent. It's from Transparency USA, and it talks about the Oneida County Republican Committee and data through 10/20/25. So I just have a list here. It says total contributions $59,886, total expenditures $45,728. Among the contributors, I see, I don't want to mention the name specifically, but a Rutkowski. I assume this is somebody.
It'd be Tricia.
Yes, yes.
Just a matter of who wrote the check that day. That's all. Yeah.
Yes. And so it lists a number of donors, whether they be entities or individuals. And it's everything from, it looks like $15,000 in unitemized contributions all the way down to I think $20 and $30 donations. And then under expenditures, there is a list of things that money paid for, according to this filing. The largest is $10,000 in fees to an attorney, Timothy Hill, Esquire, and all the way down to things like a $5.40 bill at Home Depot, $500 for Mohawk Valley Designs, $600 for Harts Hill Inn. So I'll be happy to share this with you. I don't know if it answers your questions, but it was sent to me anonymously during the break. So,
yeah, I'm going to say that $10,000 was legal fees to remove Kim Rogers from the chair position in Rome. So, I mean, I'm not writing checks for that. You know what I mean?
Right. So you're saying that the contributions you're making.
It's the largest contribution.
I'm not saying me. Far. I mean the people, right?
The contributions that are being made are being used to attack
yes,
the Rome leadership, to attack Pacenti, to attack. That's where your money's going.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous, right? These people, these are the people elected by the majority through a democratic process. They're in place because the people wanted them there. Why are we attacking it? What is the job of the chairman? To get people elected in the Republican Party? You know, I mean, how many times has Tony been reelected?
Right.
And Joe Gruffo.
The thing that, and I get it, everybody, we hear from people every single day. I'm carrying Tony Pacenti's water on a daily basis. My back is killing me. But the reality is, whether you're talking about Tony or go back to when Claudia was here and Brindisi, you go back to those days. In the last 10 to 15 years, we have made a move to repair the damage that was done for 50 years, for 60 years, including the closure of the base.
Yeah.
And when you look around and you see all the things that are happening right now, why would we want to stick our foot out and trip somebody? Why would we want to do that? I don't understand.
I have no idea. It is insane. Needs to change quick, Bill. Real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One more thing. So I mentioned the top expense being the $10,000 in legal fees. The third highest expense is almost $4,500 for Shamrock Golf and Country Club. I assume that was maybe a
golf outing or something.
An outing of some kind.
It could have been a fundraiser.
Could have been a fundraiser, or could have just been an outing. The second highest expenditure on here is $8,753 for Breeze's Banquet and Event Center.
That's a problem because Rozier.
How much was that?
$8,753.
Rozier owns that facility.
So if we've got this right, he's taking political contributions, putting it in the bank account of the party, Oneida County Republican Party, and then writing himself a check for $8,000. Is that what that reads?
That's what this information that I was sent seems to reflect.
I don't know if that's accurate, but that was the inaugural watch party.
And then one other thing I want to ask you about before we let you go and completely burn down this place.
Hey, Bill, I don't know if you noticed, I'm not afraid. So
I do know that. I just hope that you use your construction company to come back and rebuild it when it's all done. But we had a kid on the air a couple of weeks ago who said he was kicked out of he was kicked out of a meeting by police, that the bylaws which have now been passed for the Republican Party have taken away a lot of the normal procedure that would happen. What do you know?
You're talking about the Roberts Rules of Order?
Yes.
Yeah, so I believe our current administration in the Republican Party has removed the Roberts Rules of Order for these proceedings. So ultimately, it gives them more power. And you can if you don't agree and you have a statement, that I believe is what's going to happen.
Well, there's an executive committee that is basically handpicked by the chairman,
right? Yeah,
and the executive committee would make the ruling. I'm sorry, you're no longer.
I don't like Bill. Get him out of here. Yeah, you're done. Yeah. So the opposite of democracy, right?
That would tend to not fall in line with democracy.
Are we talking about somebody who makes a stink at a meeting and is like raising havoc, or raises their hand and wants to make a point, and the cops get called?
He was challenged. He said he was challenging he was voicing a procedural challenge to the way the meeting was being held, and they went back and forth, and ultimately the police were called and he was removed.
But this isn't the first time any challengers are met with the same resistance, and that's, I believe, why would you change? Why would you get away from Robert's Rules of Order if you were in charge of the event? Why? It's a power trip, is what it is. 100%.
Okay. Joe Rakowski, thank you.
Hey, thank you to whoever sent me the information. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate your time. Thank you. And we'll see you later for the rebuild.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
It's 8:22. I'll shake your hand. Thank you. 8:22 WIBX. Coming up, a bunch to get to. Phil DeGiorgio's an estate planning attorney. We have ICANN to get in here this morning. Howard Sanders is the head of the Lexington Democratic Club in New York City. They're going through quite I don't know if you've heard, there's a very interesting mayoral race in New York City, and we'll get him to talk about that. John Decker, Chief White House Correspondent with Great TV. We are loaded up. It's all next to WIBX.
Hi, folks. This is Rob Hilton. Your family is your greatest treasure. Is your estate plan ready to protect them when it matters most? At Hilton Estate and Elder Law, we understand the importance of getting it right. That's why we offer a free review of your current plan. Together, we'll assess it and provide honest feedback to ensure it truly works. No cost, no obligation, just confidence and peace of mind. Let's prepare for the future together. Schedule a free review today.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law.
Judge Pat Kilmartin, current civil and criminal trial judge and attorney in private practice, former Onondaga County prosecutor and county attorney, decades of real courtroom experience. Judge Pat Kilmartin, past county legislator and longtime youth basketball coach, active parish member and volunteer for the Diocese of Syracuse, engaged in our community. Judge Pat Kilmartin, husband, father, coach, friend, committed to fairness, integrity, and the rule of law.
I'm Judge Pat Kilmartin. Growing up, I learned the value of public service from my mom, a public school educator, and my dad, a court attendant for Onondaga County Court. The countless hours I spent following my dad down courthouse halls started me on my path to becoming a lawyer, a prosecutor, and a judge. Everything I've done professionally since then has prepared me to extend that service to New York State Supreme Court.
Elect Judge Pat Kilmartin to State Supreme Court. Paid for by Judge Kilmartin for Supreme Court.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hi, this is Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. If you're interested in keeping up with events and news in the Mohawk Valley region, I have the show for you. It's called This Week in the Mohawk Valley, and it airs every Sunday on WIBX. Join us as we talk with area business leaders, elected officials, law enforcement, educators, and more. Don't miss This Week in the Mohawk Valley every Sunday at 9 a.m. on WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, coming up. In Herkimer County, there's so much happening, including the Christmas crafts and the big craft fair. This thing has been going on for how many years, Jeff? 35, 40 years?
Yeah.
The craft fair at Herkimer County Community College. It's coming up Friday, November 28th, Saturday, November 29th, and Sunday, November 30th. It's just one of the items available for your viewing at herkimercountyny.gov/events. That is the website that talks about everything going on in Herkimer County. You can add an event, you can submit one, and of course you can go there to see what's going on, like this big craft fair happening starting on the 28th of November. Is that when this is, Davey?
You're reading the wrong one. The Herkimer County Craft Show is next week.
Next weekend. What is this? I don't even know what that is. It's another craft fair. I'm promoting another craft fair in another county. It's next weekend at Herkimer County Community College. By the way, for Herkimer County, whether you're just passing through or you're local and looking for things to do, it's where history, commerce, and beauty collide. It is happening in Herkimer County. One other item I wanted to mention here is, and I promise you I won't screw this one up, is lead-free Mohawk Valley. If a home that you own or live in was built prior to 1978, there's a very good chance it has lead paint, which can affect children, especially in their early ages, up to 2 years and even older. It begins with paint dust, old windows, door jambs. When they open and close, it sends a dust into the air that is breathed in by young children and affects their development seriously and permanently. It's an incredible problem that needs to be dealt with. There's money to help. If you are a property owner, if you own the apartment or the apartment building, if you're a tenant, there's help. And up to $30,000 per unit for lead hazard repairs. Go to leadsafeutica.com or call 315-724-4197. Anything else you want me to do?
No, my phone is blowing up here, and I'm trying to send messages out to offer time slots to other individuals who were mentioned in the last segment. So I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. In studio.
I would like another 45 minutes of show, though, because we're a little behind.
We're going to need it. In studio is Phil DiGiorgio. He's an estate planning attorney. And Phil, good morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So we've been hearing your commercials, and I did want to just start out by talking about the importance of getting these things in order, a plan in place before, God forbid, something happens. Because what you can leave in your wake, interesting, the nautical version of wake and the funeral version of wake, same thing. You're leaving in your wake a lot of chaos if you don't take care of things. Talk about that.
Yeah, advanced planning is very important, Bill. You hit that right on. And especially, there's been a lot of talk about Medicaid, for example, lately, and one part not impacted so much by the current bill, but it is impacted by some steps the state has been taken lately, is long-term care for seniors. And it's really important if you're concerned about chronic health ailments and you're worried about either community care in the home for your parents or yourself, or God forbid, someone you love has to go to a nursing home. Planning in advance is critical. And in addition to that, there are some additional hurdles that have come up recently where the state is looking to, quite frankly, save money and reduce costs. And we could talk about some of those.
What happens every year, every tax year? It seems there are changes that are made, and I'm assuming you're referencing that.
Yes, every budget has changes, and some of those changes a few years ago haven't been implemented yet, for example, but may be any time now. As you may or may not be aware, there's a 5-year look back for chronic care nursing home. What does that mean? If you want to apply for Medicaid and be in the nursing home, any transfers you make within 5 years might create a penalty period or a period of ineligibility.
So you would need to do all of these things 6 years before, or
at least, yeah.
Because that could be that could it could put you in a situation where you're not where they're going to use that income against you or towards whatever you're about to do, whether it be a nursing home, a facility, or whatever.
Yeah, any transfers you make will create a period that you're ineligible for Medicaid. After you've already spent the money and become eligible, you basically give away some money, you have no more money, you go to apply, you have no money to pay, but you're ineligible because you gave some money away.
Yeah, okay. And you want to and you want to take care of let's say you want to take care of your children, and you decide to leave something to your children. There's also there are ways you can do this without because ultimately you're doing this wonderful deed, right? You're leaving something for your loved ones. What you don't want to do is leave them a mess that's going to cost them a lot of money. You want to do it in the most efficient way possible, I would assume.
You would, and doing that, you want to plan in advance, 5 years, and something that changed about 5 years ago during the pandemic. It used to be there was no transfer penalty for community care, right, for long-term care in the home. About 5 years ago, in 2020, New York State passed a statute that eventually will require a 30-month look back, 2.5 years for home care. In other words, if you say transfer your house to your children less than 2.5 years before you need community care, even just doing what's very popular, deed with retained life use, that's considered a transfer, right? If you do that less than 2.5 years before you need community care, when they implement this new statute, what they have kept on putting off, but if and when they implement it, there'll be a 2.5 year look back for community care. Currently, there isn't.
Yeah,
there will be when they implement this.
I have one quick along that line. Very interesting that the law had been passed. I think it goes back to the Reagan years, where, and it's maybe federal, and maybe you know something about it. So, for instance, if a property is, let's say the house is left, but you have to take over the mortgage. The child has to take over the mortgage. Well, you transfer everything into your name. Now, where would this become interesting? Let's say the house was purchased 8 years ago when interest rates were low, and now you're trying to put it in your name when interest rates are very high. Everything changes. You go from 2.8% to what, 7-8% right now. That's a lot of money. So what was passed is that the mortgage company must allow the person who received the home to continue to pay. As long as they pay on that mortgage, you do not have to change ownership necessarily, which does create complications, but you get to keep the interest rate. Can you talk about that? Am I hitting you with something that my wife discovered that not a lot of people know about?
I have heard about this.
I'd love it if you would look into it and get back with us.
Absolutely.
Even a phone interview. I'd love to talk about that.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do that.
In today's world, it's pretty significant when interest rates were so low and now they are where they are today. That's a big deal.
No, I agree with you. And in fact, a related issue is whether or not a mortgage company can accelerate the mortgage when you transfer your home. So typically, if you're going to sell your home or transfer your home to somebody, there's a clause in a mortgage that would accelerate the mortgage, right?
I see.
But if you're putting it in a revocable trust or in one of these irrevocable Medicaid asset protection trusts, that's not supposed to be the case. There's a statute out there that says, well, if you're transferring into a trust where you and the trust are one and the same for tax purposes, the bank can't accelerate the mortgage.
All of this leads to one thing. You're better off when you are healthy to really organize this in a way that is strategically placed for the benefit of the people you leave behind.
That's right. Absolutely.
I'm assuming, Jeff, I know you had something.
The sooner the better. I just wanted to mention, because you were talking about nursing homes, or I guess this evolution of in-home care. And it's a story I've been mentioning this morning in the news, and it deals with Presbyterian Home closing. And in here in their news release from Community Wellness Partners, they talk about Medicaid reimbursements being under the actual cost of care, and many nursing homes in New York State operating at a significantly reduced capacity since the COVID-19 pandemic. And I just bring that up to say there is an evolution in society of services that are available, or new services, old services, and things like that. And it's good to know what you have in place, and to, as I said, the sooner the better, right? When they're talking about these windows of time that action has to have been taken before 5 years ago or 6 years ago, whatever the case might be. I said a lot of things. Can you straighten me out there?
No. I don't disagree with you, right? The costs are escalating, and planning in advance is essential. It's really important. There are some things you can't plan for, right? Exactly what's going to happen. What health needs are you going to have? And one way of tightening the vice, the state has recently implemented is not only do you need to be eligible financially for Medicaid, but now they're looking at your medical eligibility. And in order to qualify for Medicaid, either in the home or in the nursing home, you have to have a need for help with activities of daily living. You know, can you feed yourself? Spoon to mouth. Can you bathe yourself? Can you move around? Can you use the toilet by yourself? And so it used to be that you only needed to require help with 2 of these activities of daily living or have significant cognitive impairment. Now the new rules that have just been implemented are you need to require help with 3 of these activities of daily living, or 2 of them plus have significant cognitive impairment. So it's gotten more challenging, not only financially, but medically. And what they do is they send a representative from the insurance company to do an assessment, and they're not eager to find that you're medically eligible. And so it's become harder to get this kind of help.
And if you have a aging parents, if you have parents, they're aging. You know what you want for your parents is to be comfortable as they get older, and that also is a big part of this. It's not just about what you leave for your kids. It's about making sure, as you were just talking about, you're taking care of yourself, and maybe you want to end your life living in your home. There are ways to be able to make that happen, but you got to plan for it.
You have to plan for it.
Obviously, Phil DiGiorgio, they can reach out to you in your office. Phone number, website.
315-732-3155.
Okay. Phil, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for having me.
We'll talk again on that other issue. It's worth.
We will, absolutely.
I believe it's a federal statute or a federal law, something to look into, especially where interest rates are currently compared to where they were. Quick break, and we'll come back. WIBX.
In life, we're often faced with difficult decisions. When it comes to caring for our loved one, the choice can be overwhelming. But amidst the uncertainties, there is one decision that stands out as an act of profound love and gratitude: choosing hospice care. Hospice care isn't just about medical support. It's about honoring the journey of those who've given their all to their families. It's about providing comfort, dignity, and peace in their final days, surrounded by loved ones. Choosing hospice is a way to give back to someone who has selflessly given their life to others. At Hospice and Palliative Care, we understand the weight of this choice. Our compassionate team is here to guide you through every step of the journey, providing personalized care that respects the individuality and dignity of your loved one. When it's time to say goodbye, choose Hospice Care. Choose love. Choose Hospice and Palliative Care, serving Oneida, Herkimer, and Eastern Madison counties. Visit our website, hospicecareinc.org, or call 315-735-6484.
When you need us most.
Mattress Express's free adjustable base promotion is on. Come on, pick out any king or queen set in the store except Tempur-Pedic and get upgraded to an adjustable base at no extra charge. You heard me right. And we have no credit check payment plans.
Some firsts you'd like to leave in the rearview mirror. Other firsts are life-changing. Nokian Tires invented the first all-weather tire 25 years ago to serve as a true year-round driving solution. We infuse our tires with aramid fibers for pothole protection, and we subject our products to Arctic conditions at the largest winter tire test facility in the world. Make safety your first priority. Nokian Tires. First things first. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or online at tallmanstire.com.
Rain will continue to be in the forecast, and a chilly day today with an east breeze gusting as a low practically passes right over the top of us. So occasional rain, mid-50s. Tonight, rain, lows will be in the low 40s. Friday, still some showers lingering with a west breeze. Highs will be in the low 50s. That could affect trick-or-treaters in the evening. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Rating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Listen, they, for the year, have been accepting new patients and have accepted a lot of new patients to the point where they said, we're going to put it on hold because we need to take care of everyone. We're adding a new provider, a new physician. That is in the process right now, and as soon as that is complete, they will begin to accept new patients once again. That should happen right around the end of the year. It's the Falcon Clinic, the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. Reach out to them today. It's the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. All right, let's see. What am I doing? Okay, so this is really something that has turned into it really has turned into a national issue. Republicans, I know Republicans who are saying, I'm rooting for Mamdani. I'm rooting for him to win because he is going to be ultimately the face of the Democrat Party, and that's where Republicans are going to go next year in the midterms. So, however, you have President Trump endorsing Andrew Cuomo. You have a Republican who was expected to maybe get out of the race, and he's still in the race.
When did that happen? Trump.
Oh, that has been going on for quite some time.
I didn't know he didn't endorse the Republican. He endorsed Cuomo.
Well, let's bring in Howard Sanders. Howard is the president of the Lexington Democrat Club in New York City. Howard and I met on vacation over the summer, had some very intriguing conversations, and thought we would continue them here on the radio. Although I must say, Howard,
yes,
the setting of that conversation was far better than the current one, I have to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's raining mightily in New York now, so I'm in the mood. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right, so, Jeff asking here about President Trump saying vote for Andrew Cuomo in New York City. This is a complex race here, and early voting is already underway.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I have to say there is a great amount of division in New York amongst the Democrats, amongst everybody. And separately, for many folks, a lot of uncertainty as well. I can say with pretty much assurance that the younger people, whatever party, seem united behind Mamdani.
Yeah.
It's the older folks who seem really evenly divided. New York has a substantial Jewish population, and there's a lot of apprehension about Mamdani victory. So there is a tremendous amount of division in New York. There's cultural issues, economic issues, there's safety issues. I know it has national implications, but the people of the city, are focused on the election and how it impacts their lives. To be honest with you, Seth.
So, and listen, like it or not, Andrew Cuomo has baggage, and that doesn't make it any easier. And here you have this younger guy, and the younger, what seems to be a very inspired population in New York City. Mamdani's still up by 10 points right now, it seems.
Yes, I think the problem with that is that the Democrats are divided, and the Republicans have Fleetwood in the race still. Cuomo is an independent. So, you have the split in so many different directions. And they both have, I would say, baggage. The cultural baggage, there's accusations of anti-Semitic behavior and language on Mr. Mamdani's part. You have accusations of sexual misconduct on Mr. Cuomo's part. The economic issues, you have people who are saying, well, Mamdani may drive out the wealthy and destroy the tax base, damaging small business. And then you have Mr. Cuomo, they're saying, well, he's in the pocket of the real estate interests and the wealthy and powerful corporations. So safety issues, they're saying that maybe Mr. Mamdani would not be willing to be tough enough on crime, not support the police sufficiently. And then you have Mr. Cuomo, who, they say, well, maybe he'll be trying to please Mr. Trump and work with ICE too closely. So you have all these divisions, and there's just a lot of uncertainty. Even in our membership, we pride ourselves in being one of the oldest and one of the largest Democratic clubs in New York, and we've had such divisions within our own ranks.
Yeah,
and we're also pride ourselves on being the First Reform Club, which means that we encouraged open voting and the membership to decide issues since 1949, as opposed to things going on behind closed doors. And even our club, has been deeply divided over all these issues. So
it is funny. I was speaking to someone just the other day. They were on their way home this past Saturday night, walking back to their very nice apartment building in New York City. And the wife is saying, this is so ridiculous. We spent 45 minutes outside while my husband and her girlfriend's husband were face-to-face arguing with each other over Cuomo and Mondami. It was an outdoor, let's get upstairs and go to bed argument that went on for...
Welcome to New York. This is the way it's been lately. It's very unusual, atmosphere, I have to say, in New York, and it's everywhere. And as I say, there's apprehension on everybody's part.
Yeah.
So a very unusual feeling in New York. But voting has been. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, voting is up, right? I mean, it looks like record numbers for early voting.
Exactly. So there's a lot of energy. There's apprehension as to whatever the result will be.
Yeah, and it's also we wonder, what does that energy mean? Is that the young vote that's energized? I mean, you don't know.
No idea. Both ends are.
Two interesting questions, and I'll let you go. At least I think the questions are interesting. Of course I do. I think that, we mentioned that President Trump getting in and basically endorsing Andrew Cuomo. That can be really good. It could also be really bad in a polarized New York City, especially when it comes to Donald Trump. That may be the kiss of death for Cuomo.
It may be, but at the same time, I think they're mostly focusing on Mr. Cuomo, especially the Jewish population in New York, because of Mr. Mamdani's positions on Gaza and his statements regarding Israel. So I think, while that may impact somewhat, I don't think that's going to be the pressing concern because, as I said, immigration, of course, and et cetera, and funding in the future. But New Yorkers look at, their day-to-day, as everybody does, pocketbook issues.
Yeah.
And they're looking at how this will affect, and this is how, both Mr. Mamdani and Mr. Trump have focused. And one popular support is basically focusing on kitchen table and pocketbook issues. And that's what I think New Yorkers are focused on first and foremost in this election. So.
And then finally, how is Sliwa still in the race? I would have thought at this point, I predicted right around October 1st, he's going to get out and throw his support to Cuomo. He's still in.
And I think if he wasn't in, it would be a much closer race.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, he's been there, year after year, and et cetera, and comes with his own baggage as well. But it really would have changed the dynamics, I think, dramatically if he were to leave. But I have no answer to that one.
Yeah. So. Wow. Howard Sanders with the Lexington Democrat Club in New York City. Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
Same here. Nice speaking to you again, Bill.
Have a great day. Care. Thanks so much. Interesting, right? The battle. And we were going back and forth in heated fashion on as the boat made its way across the Mediterranean over the summer. Boy, would I like to be back there right now. Instead, we're looking at what today? Rain,
2 inches of rain possible.
A lot of rain. They're getting the same thing.
High wind gusts.
In New York City. The question is, they have this record number early voters, record numbers right now. The question is that the younger Mondami vote that's coming out? Or is it everybody else, including that very, very inspired and nervous Jewish population in New York City? Very interesting. All right, stand by. Coming up, John Decker, Chief White House Correspondent with Great TV at WIBX.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and servicing Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
This message is paid for by friends of Michael Gentile.
Hi, I'm Michael Gentile, your Oneida County legislator for Utica's 23rd District. I've always believed in hard work, honesty, and giving back to the community that raised me. I focused on improving public safety, supporting families, and investing in projects that strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life across the 23rd District and all of Oneida County. This election, I respectfully ask for your vote so we can keep our community moving forward. I'm Michael Gentile, and I'm proud to serve you.
The City of Utica's controller's race is one of the most important in recent years. It requires a person with the qualifications and proven hands-on financial experience needed to be our city's chief financial officer. That person is hands down Mike Sermonaro. Mike is a proven leader spanning almost 40 years of experience throughout city government and is known for his toughness, fairness, and his extraordinary work ethic. Vote for Mike Sermonaro for Utica City Controller, a proven and very capable leader. Paid for by Mike Sermonaro for Controller.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Portions of today's program brought to you by River Hills Properties, fastest growing real estate company in the area. They continue to grow upstate and invest in the area here or in the Adirondacks in central New York. It's all about services provided, the things they do to assist you. It lowers that stress level. At the very day you list with River Hills, you add a team to your, really, normally most people don't have a team. They're just on their own. And boy, it helps. It lowers the stress level. It gets the job done, and oftentimes allows you to sell your home much quicker than you normally would. At least in my personal experience, it's exactly what happened. Offices in Barneville, Little Falls, in Utica, Copenhagen to the north. Just opened in Newport, where Mark Butler resides as mayor. Coming soon to Rome and the Gulf Coast of Florida, Sarasota, Naples, and Marco Island for those snowbird opportunities. It's River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. Brandy and Jody are in here this morning from ICANN. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
So we are reaching that time of year.
We sure are. It's kind
Coming
of
fast.
Weird to be here in, like, you know, the pumpkin earrings and the fall attire and talking about the holidays.
When it was just 80 degrees like 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. So explain, this is their 24th year of Adopt a Family.
Yes.
Explain what we're doing here.
Yes. So I Can't Adopt a Family has been going on since 2001. Basically started it just to make sure that our kids that we were serving back then had a little bit more when they woke up in the morning or whatever holiday they celebrated, right? So we got together with a couple of different businesses in the area and decided to get them some Christmas gifts, some holiday gifts. And it's grown tremendously since then. So this year, obviously ICANN's grown tremendously since then, right? So back in 2001, when we started the program, we were serving maybe 50 families, right? And we serve now over 2,500 individuals every day.
Yeah.
So we want to meet the needs of those families just as well as we did back when we were a smaller agency. So
how many now?
Over 2,500 individuals a day at ICANN. Yeah.
A day.
And any given day, we're serving that many folks.
And the services you guys, there's a multitude of services. So I'm assuming this program grabs from all of those for those people that are in need.
Yes. So the families who received the gifts from Adopt a Family, they are children and families that our workers work directly with in our programs.
Okay.
And what's nice about it is that, you know, we serve and provide them support through Adopt a Family for the holiday season for the folks that we work with. But we know that if we're taking care of those that we support at ICANN, that we are helping the rest of the community be freed up to use the services in the community that there are. You know, we know that there's services in the community that help folks at the holiday, but if we're doing our part at ICANN to make sure that those that we serve are supported by our program, then we know that others can go and use this community supports that are out there in the community as well. So that's kind of our part.
So how does this work? Does someone assign a family? You pick a family on your own? Tell us.
Yeah, so our coordinators at ICANN identify their families that have the most need. They have a handful of lists. They meet directly with their families. These lists are very individualized. So we love all of the toy donations, those toy drives that are out there, but these lists are very specific to what the kids want and need. So we have these adorable wish lists. We have sort of like a fun play on ICANN. There's 4 different gift categories. So one is something I can play with, something I can learn with, something I can be cozy in, and something that I can use.
Okay.
So it's nice that kids get both wants and needs. So the idea is that each child gets minimally 4 gifts.
And how many family sponsors are you looking for?
So last year we served 400 families in the program, nearly 1,000 individuals. So we brought in over 4,000 gifts into our community of folks that we serve. This year we're looking to double our shoppers. We've grown so much, but we've stayed in between that 350 to 400 families, and we would love to increase that more because we serve, obviously I just told you, upwards of 2,500 individuals a day, right? So we really want to double our shoppers. We would love for people to come in and do the shopping for us, get a wish list, get together with a bunch of friends or with your family, or do it alone, have businesses go in. What's kind of cool about this is it doesn't necessarily have to be the business money that's being utilized. What we have a lot of folks do is get the staff together, right? And the staff of an agency or a business can get together, do this as a little engagement activity with each other, team building, and then they can shop for a family and bring it to us. So it's really a cool opportunity to get together with folks and then kind of pay something forward.
Okay, I love what you guys as a group are doing. You're doing so many, you're filling many voids, and it's greatly needed. And this is just a great example of that. If somebody wants to get involved, just go to the website.
Absolutely. So if anybody wants to get involved with Adopt a Family program, if folks are looking for services and supports, if you would like to donate to us, anything, ICANN.family. If you go to events on our website, you'll find the Adopt a Family program. There's contact us forms on the website, so you can fill that out. It actually goes directly to me, and I'll make sure that somebody gets in touch with you.
Okay.
Or you can just call us, 315-792-9039.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
For again, that's ICANN, ICANN.family, and then click on events.
Yes.
And hard to believe Thanksgiving is like 3 weeks away.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right, thank you. We have news coming up next. Kilmeade after that on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
There is less trade tension with China. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. After President Trump's meeting with China's leader in South Korea that he called a 12 on a scale of 0 to 10. And Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells Fox Business that has put a U.S.-China trade deal on a faster track.
I expect that we will exchange signatures possibly as soon as next week.
Now, the president said while flying home after their meeting in South Korea, wrapping up his Asian trip, the Chinese leader Xi Jinping pledged to do more to stop the flow of the deadly drug fentanyl into the U.S.
Based on his statements today, I reduced it by 10%, so it's 10% instead of 20%. Effective immediately.
The president talking about the tariff reduction he's putting on Chinese imports because of that. He also says they resolved a dispute over rare earth minerals, and China agreed to resume buying American soybeans. President Trump also told reporters he's ordered the Department of War to immediately resume nuclear weapons tests, something the U.S. hasn't done in 33 years. But he also said,
I think de-escalation would be, they would call it denuclearization, would be a tremendous thing.
The U.S. military has blown up yet another suspected drug boat off Venezuela's coast, killing another 4 people. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth posted video of the explosion and called those killed narco-terrorists. It's now 15 boats destroyed since last month. More than 60 suspected illegal drug traffickers dead. It's day 30 of the government shutdown, with federal workers still unpaid and millions of Americans who get food stamp assistance won't, starting on Saturday.
This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we're talking about.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune, after Democrats again blocked funding in a vote. Democrats blame Republicans for not negotiating with them on the provisions they want to add. President Trump's Surgeon General nominee was supposed to answer questions this morning at the Senate. Instead, Dr. Casey Means is having a baby. 40 weeks pregnant, she's gone into labor, postponing the hearing. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes. Heroes like U.S. Army Warrant Officer 1 Stuart Waymond. After joining the Army, Stuart graduated from Army Aviation School and had a distinguished career until a mid-air collision during a training exercise took Stuart's life. He leaves behind